Welcome everybody to the 8th annual Flock Talk, where we talk our talk with the flock. You feel me? Today is gonna be a little bit different. We're not only talking about Pop the Balloon, because there's a lot of stuff that you guys actually decided you guys wanted to talk about. That's happening, current events. Some people want to talk about the current situation with that athlete and his girlfriend. Some people want to talk about the cooking with Kiya thing. Some people want to talk about the alien. Some people want to talk about the table conversation. So it's like, you know what? We're going to tackle whatever conversations that we can. That way everybody, you know, can at least put some input on what's going on. I do encourage people who, you know, don't normally speak on the Flock Talks. If you have a good mic, come on, try to talk. You know, it's okay. It's a community. It's not just a one-person show. I want to thank you guys for all being in here, whether you're in the YouTube chat, whether you're in this main Flock Talk conversation. If you do want to be a part of the conversation, remember that you guys can always join the Discord. The Discord is free. All you have to do is assign yourself the role, and you can click up here and join the conversation. All right, just be respectful to your Discord peers. Unfortunately, we had to get rid of somebody this week out of the Discord because people seem to think that they are the end all be all of the flock. And my thing is, do not take people's kindness for weakness. Do not take people's generosity and the Flock Talk stuff as a community. It is for the community. It's for us to grow as a community. You are not above the community, and you are not the leader of this community either. So we had to pack them up out of here. It's fine, because we do respect around here. But that's enough of my introduction. My lovely wife, it's just Alex. How are you feeling today?
I'm chilling.
You got anything you want to say to the peoples before we start?
No, what's up, y'all?
All right. Let's start. Jules, you've had your hand up for a while. So Jules, you can start the first topic off. How you feeling, brother?
I'm gonna be honest. Let's just say it's been a week.
I'm
not even gonna lie. It has been a week.
Hey, but you're alive, man.
Sorry if my voice sounds a little hoarse. I'm currently fighting the flu at the moment.
Hey, we pray for your healing, man.
Thank you. But I really wanted to bring up this week's Pop the Balloon.
Okay.
Because we talked about something else. We talked about... What was I about to say? Oh, so we remember when we talked about that one lineup of women?
The worst lineup ever?
We talked about... Yes. I felt like overall, this current lineup, it reminded me of the lineup we previously talked about. And it just gave me a really icky feeling.
What specifically about the lineup didn't you like?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up so everybody can see.
Nothing really about specific people. Just the lineup in general.
Hey, Arlette, you didn't get a still shot of everybody on Pop the Balloon? Here, let me pull it up so everybody can see it.
Yes, she did. Go further. Go further.
Oh, no, it's about to get right here. There we go. All right. Even though one girl's face is covered, I don't give a crap. Yep. So this is the lineup of women that was on this week's Pop the Balloon, so everybody can see it. This Pop the Balloon episode only had 2 matches, which I think that was generous. But hey, you know, at the end of the day, people got matches. That's all that matters. Is there anybody specific you would like to talk about, Jules, since you're starting the topic off?
Not exactly. I'm gonna actually let the hounds loose, and they can take over from there.
Okay.
Not the hounds.
If you guys have an opinion about this episode of Pop the Balloon, go ahead and start raising your hand now. You can talk about any specific part you want and set the tone. So go ahead, raise your hands. Let's get it started. All right, Will Too Humble. Welcome.
Yo, what is good? What's good?
How you doing?
What's good, Alex?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
What about this week's episode of Pop the Balloon? Do you want to talk about what segment?
I think the one that was absolutely funny to me was the woman on the far right, the one that's wearing the black and white.
Yes.
Oh, Finesse.
Finesse.
Yes. I find it funny that she had an interaction with that one guy who was pretty skinny.
Okay.
And you know, he reminds, I think she said that he reminds the guy reminds of her boyfriend, her old boyfriend, her ex.
Right.
Yeah, right. Okay. I watched that part, and one of the things I thought about was that I find it funny how it seems like y'all try to come on a platform knowing that you are just like not healed from the previous relationship that they be having. And whenever I hear that, it just goes to, okay, you are about to ruin somebody else's day with the attitude that you are still carrying, versus, okay, let me not do this to a new person, because I know if I do it to a new person, then I could potentially lose this person. Although it was still good for her to, call it out and say that, like, okay, I had a issue, right? It's just the fact that, what if you would do it to somebody else who looks just like him? Because you already told everybody that you have a type. So it's like, when will the healing process begin? Because that's what they, always say, I have some type of trauma.
Okay.
When does it begin? Because I say, oh yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your statement. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say that. Why is it that people always sit here and say, well, it takes time. I need to heal. But then get on Pop the Balloon. That's one thing I just don't understand.
Okay, that's a good question. To give people more context on the segment that our brother over here is talking about, I will play the clip.
I'm Finesse, I'm 26, and I ended up popping my balloon because you look just like my ex.
He hurt you that bad? What he did? Cause damn, you don't even know me, and you just don't like because of him.
But I have a habit of harboring things, and since you look like him, I might lash out on you on accident sometimes. And that might be a thing you might not like about me.
That means you need to heal.
Yeah, I agree.
No, she's someone that's your type.
So, like our brother over here stated, she came on the show and basically told the guy, hey, you look like my ex, and if I got with you, I would subconsciously start lashing out at you, even though I don't mean to, but I will do it, and you might not like that. And that is very true. That is something that you definitely need to be healed from. If you harbor that many feelings towards somebody that you feel like you're gonna instinctively lash out just because of how they look, because it reminds you of something, that is very concerning. And especially for you to come on Pop the Balloon with that type of trauma or wound is crazy. But Alex, how did you feel about that segment when you watched it?
I'm trying to think of the word. It kind of reminded me of the last Pop the Balloon where we had the PTSD
haircut
conversation. Yeah, it was kind of like that. And yeah, I kind of agree with everybody else. Like, if you're not comfortable seeing someone that may look similar to the type of person you just recently left a relationship from, then you're probably not ready to start dating. Because even though he may not be him, he has a little bit of likeness or features that may have triggered her in resemblance of her ex. So I don't think she should have went on the show.
Right.
Definitely agree.
So Will, what was your question again, so we can ask it to everybody? What was your question?
Yeah, the question was, if you know that you have some level of trauma from previous relationships, and I'm talking about the ones that it's just not healed. It's like so many things are available, but for some reason it's just not healed. And then I also heard that she said something about intellect. So my main thought on that was, would it make sense for you to get therapy if you have this intellect thought process? Because I ain't gonna lie, because if it was me, that's what I would have done. But I don't want to drift off. The question is, if you have trauma, then why would you go on Pop the Balloon knowing that you have trauma?
Okay, that's a great question. So the question, everybody, if you have trauma, why would you go on, we'll expand it. If you have trauma, relationship trauma, why would you go on a dating show? That is the question. Why do you think people go on dating shows even though they have trauma? If you guys want to answer the question, go ahead, raise your hand. Duty Mac, you up first. Oh, go ahead, Alex.
No, go ahead. No, you
go ahead. No, it sounded like you were about to say something intellectual.
No, I want to hear from everybody else.
All right.
No, I don't have nothing intellectual to say. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead, Duty Mac. You got the floor, big dog.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Kite Mania, Alex, what's happening?
What's going on?
Yeah, we doing good.
Where you been?
I'm not, man. Look, sick.
Oh,
working.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? It's cold. It's colder than the snowman's drawers out here in Chicago, man. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I got to truck through it. Working for Amazon ain't no joke during these times, but
Yes, sir.
I'm trucking through it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm trucking through it. You know what I'm saying? How's the weather out there, real quick, by the way?
Oh, we sitting in
It's okay.
60 degrees. We chilling out here.
What is it still like
California.
summertime weather?
Northern California got hit with a tornado, so I mean, we'll be okay though.
Oh, okay, yeah. I imagine California always being like the 60s, 70s, 80s range. Y'all right by the Pacific Ocean. You know what I'm saying? I need some of that weather. You know what I'm saying? I would love a suntan in December, personally. But anyway, I ain't gonna be too long because I have somewhere to be, and I ain't feeling the best, with my throat. But I will chime on in real quick. So, my man's question was, if you have trauma, why are you going on a dating show? Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna concise this as best I can, because it's kind of a two-part.
Yeah.
The general answer from those for those people as to why they do it, they think that by me moving on to the next person or trying to find somebody that is to my liking, at least on a surface level, for carnality reasons, that I can potentially find good in them, and they'll wipe away my experience from my last person, and then the trauma will just somehow dissipate on its own. That's not how that works. I know we like to believe so. This is why you don't read on the internet and take things from social media too seriously, because that's what it'll do. It'll skew your perspective to think that that's how that happens. This is not the movies. This is not TV. This is real life. In life, when you go through an experience, good or bad, or ugly, you compartmentalize all that. You internalize it, and you let it marinate before you just move on to the next one. That's a very basic human understanding thing. Now, as to the more ulterior motive as to why they do it, well, we already know. For most of them, not all, but most of them, they go on this show not really so much to find love. They really do it because they want to sell their content, market themselves, put their brands out there, just get their 15 minutes of fame, yada yada yada, blah 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 blah, and then try to make a mockery of somebody that offends them if necessary, if it comes down to that. That's why they do it. A lot of the bottom line of it is, before I move, let the next person talk. The bottom line of it is, and this goes to everybody out there listening, it takes time to let something marinate. It takes time to move past something. You always gonna be self-improving. That never stops. That doesn't stop until the day you die. There are things from my first relationship that still bother me, and that was over 13, 14 years ago. Here I am, almost a 30-year-old man, and something from 14 years ago, something that happened to me at 15 years old still bothers me. As brief as that was. It's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the human experience, because memories leave a lasting effect on you. It's a biological thing. So with that being said, look at excuse me. Look at what happened. Yeah, look at what happened. Look at both sides of what that person did, what you did, what you learned from it, and take that and apply it, and be willing to change. Be willing to remember it and change, so that the next person that you meet does not have to embroil themselves in the same type of trauma that you dealt with, because that's not fair to them. That's not fair to you. And we have enough of that going on out here in the world, not just in the dating circle, But that's my 2 cents on it.
Okay, I like that take. That was a very educated take, brother. Thank you for sharing that. And I hope somebody out there hears that advice, because that is good advice, actually. I always say this on our channel, in our reactions, that self-reflection is the key to self-improvement. It's like, if you don't reflect on the mistakes or the damages or the problems that you are currently inflicting on yourself or have had inflicted on you, and you don't know the root of those problems, you can never improve and get yourself to that next level, because you're basically a damaged person trying to find and heal a damaged person, but you don't know how to fix yourself. So guess what? You're just doing more damage. So I thank you for coming up here and sharing that, brother. Let's get the next person up here. We got L Dragon. L Dragon, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can.
Well, first I want to say, I know I said it, but I want to say again, I hope you had a good birthday, KiteZz.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So the question was, why do people who know they have trauma choose to date?
Why do people who know they have trauma choose to come on dating shows?
Oh, well, there's 2 reasons. The first reason is because people don't like to be alone. Mm-hmm. They don't like to sit there by themselves in the uncomfortableness, and work on themselves. The second reason is because people don't want to do the work. But yeah, the work is not going to be easy, and for some people, that work, depending on the severeness of the issue, that work could take months, years, or a very long time. But anything worth doing is going to be hard work. So that's why I feel like people need to work on themselves before they even think about getting into a relationship. Because if you get into a relationship and you have this issue, you're only creating more issues for the next person who doesn't deserve it.
Okay. What is the second part you said? Or did you already say it?
Oh no, the first part is because people don't like to be alone, and the second part was that people don't like to do the work.
Okay. Thank you, El Dragon. I hope school's going well for you, brother. I know you guys are almost done, man. You wrap it up, keep your head up, all right?
Yeah. Try to finish strong, but thank you.
Yes, hey man. All right, El Dragon, that was a good take, man. You gotta love the youth, man. The youth is gonna be smarter and wiser than us if they get the opportunity. Poetical, I know you got a great take for me, brother. Let's hear it. Poetical.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's good. Yeah. Just throw the question out there.
So the question was, why do people who have traumas from their relationships, why do they go on these dating shows?
Well, that's a very good question. Definitely feel like a lot of people believe that they can just move on to the next stage, without properly healing. And as we can see with some of the people that appeared on Pop the Balloon are more respectfully saying, well, I'm talking about the lady in the black and white at the end. Like, there are definitely some people who are not fully healed, but they want to just keep moving forward. I mean, I also feel like in order for you to, get better, in order to get better at a relationship, you do kind of have to be in one, or you have to keep interacting with people. I
Okay.
mean, you don't get better at a relationship or something that involves, interdependence by just being by yourself, right? Like, you got
Hmm.
to have those interaction with people. You have to have people that you talk to, or people that you deal with, tell you about yourself and your flaws, so that you can work on them. I don't know if a lot of people have enough of those people in their life that tells them about, some of the bad habits that they have, so that they can correct them. I believe that there's probably not enough people that have that. Some of the women that were on the show, they probably don't, because a lot of the time I do tend to see women kind of just lie to other women, just to kind of pump up their ego or keep their confidence at a certain level,
Mm-hmm.
instead of just being more honest. So, I mean, that's part of what I would say. People think that they can just keep going forward in this, and don't take the time to recover. After a relationship, you should take, I would say, a minimum a month. I mean, usually more, but I would say at least a month to kind of just, go over what happened,
Mm.
and figure some things out. Look over the situation, recollect on the situation, and figure out some of the stuff that you could have did better,
Mm.
and then then possibly try to move forward. But
I got a
we live
question.
in a society now, everything is just kind of like, let's go, let's rush things and keep moving forward, and that's how a lot of people tend to just kind of act with stuff like that.
I got a question for you, Protocol, and this is a question for everybody.
Yes.
What makes healing and going through the healing process so scary that people don't want to do it? What is so scary about the healing process that it seems like everybody is trying to skip this step and just jump straight in? Why are we so engineered towards avoiding that part and just getting forward? Now, as a Christian, I have my answer and I know why, but I want to hear, like, just in general, off of just human to human, what do you feel? Why do we feel like we need to avoid that step? If you can answer that.
Yeah, I feel like I can answer that. I feel like a lot of people avoid that step because that is the one major step where accountability has to take place. You kind of have to look at yourself in the mirror and be willing to acknowledge things that you've done wrong, things that you probably tolerated in a relationship that caused it to go awry.
Mm-hmm.
Just a lot of different things, and I definitely think a lot of us as humans, we don't want to look that in the mirror. We don't want to look at our flaws and say, okay, well, we did this wrong, so this is where I made the mistake at. It's kind of easier to say, well, I just got with the wrong person. It was them, and it wasn't me. But they say a lot of the time relationships are a reflection of yourself.
Mm.
So who you attract and who you bring to you is usually somewhere a reflection of you. And if you're broken, you're gonna attract something that's broken in one way or another, similar to yourself. So that, to me, is why people want to choose to skip this step, and they just want to keep moving forward. And you're gonna have to face it at some point. Like,
Right.
there comes a point in time where we all gotta look in the mirror. You can walk past the mirror 1,000 times, but at some point you're gonna look in it. You gotta look at your own reflection. You gotta take self accountability.
Thank you so much, Poetical. It's always a pleasure. I'm gonna
You're welcome.
Unfortunately, I'm enjoying hearing you your breakdown. I want to hear more, but I also need to be mindful of the time. So hopefully you raise your hand for the next topic, boss man. Nitro, what makes healing so scary, brother? What about healing is so scary that people keep trying to avoid it?
Now, are we talking about healing in general?
Healing like when it comes to, you know what? Yeah, we can take it there. Let's do it tonight. What makes healing so scary in general that we don't want to go through that process? Also, Paulisha, thank you for the $20 saying happy birthday, Kites. Hey, I appreciate you. I thank you for that so much. And I thank you for just being a supporter. That's the greatest gift y'all can give me. Hey, love God and watch the content. That's the best gift y'all can give me. Thank you so much. But go ahead, Nitro.
So what makes healing so difficult? It's everything that Political said plus some. Right? It involves you, like if it's traumas, how deep those traumas run, how it affects you personally, because what's trauma to one person might not be trauma to another. Right? But at the same time, it's more than just looking in the mirror, right? You have to basically relive what that trauma is and accept it for what it is, right? So then you can face forward, right? You basically got to put yourself through hell to heal from it, right? And so you don't bleed on other people, because if you never face it and you just block it away or run away, you're not really healing from it. You're just avoiding it, right? So when you talk to other people or you try to connect with other people and something triggers that trauma, because you never know how to deal with it or you never faced it, you're bleeding on them, whether you know it or not, right? So you have to basically like relive it, take the time. If it takes you 6 months, a year, whatever amount of time that it is for you to walk through that again and heal and face it, that's how long it has to take you. And then when you're healed, you might not even realize it.
Okay, Nitro.
Take that for what it is, yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, Bear Claw, and then Rena and Squaw, and then we can get to Duty and Humble. I just want people who haven't spoke to get their chance to speak. Rena and Squaw, you guys just have to accept it to come up on the stage. But Bear Claw, why do you think people are so like what's so scary about healing, brother?
Well, first of all, hey Alex, Kites, man, happy belated birthday to you, man.
Appreciate you.
It's always a blessing. Yeah, it's always a blessing to have another year around the sun. I'm glad you had time with family, man. It's a real blessing. So I'll say this. Political and Nitro, they had some really great points that I was going to touch on. I had put this in the chat. It's hard to confront your own demons. Like it's hard to confront your emotional and like psychological demons. And what I mean by that is, like, why is it so hard to heal? Is because whether you have a past relationship with a man or woman, or if it's a past relationship with one of your parents or your brother, sister, whatever, it can be hard to like take accountability on your end. I was like, okay, where was I wrong? All the time in our mind, we're thinking about how they did us wrong. My ex did this. My mama didn't love me because she did this or something like that. But then when you kind of turn it on yourself, like, well, what did I do too? You're confronting your own demons. And that's really a hard thing to do as a Christian. If you're just living a secular life, it's hard because it takes accountability, but it takes deep accountability. Like, are you willing to look at the nasty part of yourself and say, yeah, I'm that? Sometimes I can be a little too selfish. I don't like confronting that side of myself, but I gotta come to grips with that. That's something my partner has told me. And I go, I'm not selfish. Maybe not like inherently, maybe not like generally, but sometimes I can be a little selfish in some ways. And it's hard for me to confront that. So it's hard to confront your own flaws. So that's what I would say.
Okay. Thank you, brother. All right, Rena. What about healing is so scary? Why do people avoid it? What do you think?
Okay, first off, I want to say happy birthday.
Thank you.
Blessed to see another day. It's more blessed to see another year. So I just want to say that. And then, you're welcome. And for the healing part, I would say we blame ourselves for healing because we feel like we're the reason why things have happened. I know for me, we often say, "Oh, if I did this way, or if I approach this person in this, if we approach this person this way, this still wouldn't happen." So we often blame ourselves, in which that come with blame ourselves. We kind of in denial. We're not aware that we are the reason why we go through things. And I think with that, we use substance like alcohol, drugs, anything that hinder us healing wise. We think if we do that, we're healing. But all it is like a feel good moment. We're not actually acknowledging. We're not actually going through the process of what's bothering us deep inside. Like with like he was just said, we have demons, and then when we don't face our demons, that lead us to do negative things.
Okay. Shout out to you. I hope you talk more on these topics. Okay.
Yes.
All right. We got a new person on the panel. First time speaker, Squall Princess. How you doing? Oh, you just made
Hey.
How are you doing?
Hey.
Doing good. Good to be able to speak and chat with you guys. Been following you now for a couple of months. Pop the Balloon brought me to your channel, and I'm staying.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Talk your talk.
Y'all are so funny. And I love the way I don't have to blush when my children walk in the room because of certain comments or whatever the case may be. I love that. But what I wanted to say about healing, first off, I have to speak on the Black and Brown community or the people of color because I can't speak on anything else.
Right.
What I find is that I think that when we have traumas, when we have issues, I think that we want help, but we are afraid of what others will think. We want that privacy. And the reason why I say this is because I have a family member and that person has a degree in psychology. They understand the importance of mental health and healing and everything of that nature. But if you tell them, you know what, I think that you might want to sit down and talk to somebody about some things. No, I don't want anyone in my business. Well, how, if you find a therapist, if you find someone to talk to that you don't know, why does that bother you?
Right.
Well, people talk. How do I know people don't go home and, pillow talk to their mates and then they'll end up back in the community? We're just so afraid of people finding out about our business, big stuff and small stuff. Now, I don't know, like I said, I don't know about other races, but we are real big about keeping our business. And I mean, it goes too far, in my opinion, when it comes to vulnerability, trust issues, and we also have a heightened sense of strength that just it tears down reality, because a lot of us, I think, like the last lady spoke about using substances to heal. A lot of us feel like I can handle this myself. I can heal myself. Well, we're just human. And I know you guys are very faith-based, but if you believe in God, you also have to believe in that other power.
Yep.
And we're just human. We're nowhere near as strong as evil. So we have to get ourselves out of that mentality, because especially if you're faith-based, we're the main target for Satan. A lot of people don't want to say that word. We're the main focus. He got everybody else. We're the main focus to take us away from our faith. So if you're thinking to yourself, hey, I can handle this. I don't need nobody else. I don't need anything else. I don't need prayer or anything like that. whatever the case may be, he can roll in at any time and say, oh yeah, bet.
Right.
And he's way stronger than us. No, he's not stronger than God, but he's stronger than us, and he knows our weaknesses.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I wanted to say towards that.
Thank you so much. I like the way you broke that
Thank
down.
you for having me.
Yep. Hopefully
Thank you
you
for having me.
hopefully you raise your hand to come speak up on some more of these topics, okay?
Don't invite me now, because I can talk.
It's all good. It's Flock Talk. All right.
Alrighty.
We got Miles talking next. Also, to go along with the point she says about not wanting people in our business, that's the pride of man. And one thing is, pride, the Bible talks about pride. It actually says that pride will be the downfall of man. We have here in Proverbs 16, verse 18, pride leads to destruction and arrogance to downfall. Right? And it's because that pride of, I got it, I can do it, I don't want people in my business, is the prime example of you create this island where you think you're the answer, but then that pride will have you not even praying to God about your situation. And that is that downfall. But yeah, Miles, we ain't heard from you today, brother. Let's hear it, man. Do you need me to go over the question for you?
You know, it's funny. I actually literally just woke up and like I literally put my headphones on and all I heard was people saying, well, you need to heal. So I don't really know what's going on actually.
So the question
I don't know how we got here.
The question essentially, right, is what about healing your traumas, whether it's healing from relationships, childhood, whatever, healing in life, what about healing is so scary that people seemingly avoid it?
Okay, so what made this topic come about? Was it because of the gentleman from Baltimore and this last lady?
Yes.
Is that kind of how we got here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first let me just say happy birthday, old man. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you, gang.
Yeah, had to get you with the old man comment real quick. Had to get you there,
bro.
Grandpa.
Sooner or later, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You unk soon. Wow. Okay, so we talking about healing and why it's so hard for people to heal. Man. Okay. You know what? I think it's just hard. I think healing is just hard because just people don't really know what healing is. I think they're so comfortable in that destruction. I think it's called Stockholm syndrome for the most part, from what I've heard,
Right.
where people kind of just like they in it. You know, I don't know if you guys talked about that yet. Stockholm syndrome. People just kind of like, basically like, you know, you like your abuser. It's you love abuse. It's like you kind of love that where you're comfortable in it, even though it's really not right. You're comfortable in that skin, and then you constantly go back to the same energy. Most girls, they call it Stockholm syndrome when like a lot of girls deal with kind of like jerks of dudes, and then they got a nice guy right there in front of them, but they always go to the same old jerk constantly. He might just look differently, but it's still the same jerk, and it's because they're comfortable with that a-hole in the sense. So they call it Stockholm syndrome. It's like they enjoy the chaos. Like I myself, it's kind of weird. I have Stockholm syndrome. I come from Jersey, NYC area, and we're known to be kind of like jerks in a sense. And like NYC girls are kind of like mean, but I like it. Jersey girls are kind of mean. I like it because I'm kind of used to that energy. Is it right? No, it's not right, but I'm used to it. I enjoy it, even though they're kind of mean, but it's something that I'm used to. But I mean, I deserve somebody better. I deserve a little Dorothy from Wizard of Oz to be my wife, but no, I want the little chaos girl with Timberland boots and this little rowdy. Yeah, right. I need to heal. I'm hurt. Just being honest. So, we all got to heal, I guess. I'm just honest about mine. But yeah, I think we're just comfortable in our skin, I guess. I hope I answered the question.
You gave it. Well, technically, no. You're right, because you did open it up to Stockholm syndrome, which was something that nobody had brung up. So, no, you did answer the question. Thank you so much, and I hope you got energy. We got a lot of topics to get through, so I expect to hear your opinion about these topics, brother.
Absolutely. I'm broken, y'all. Someone help me. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all
right.
take it easy.
All right. We got 2 new people, Will and Duty. I know you guys have been waiting. I want to get the new people, and then you guys will finish up this topic. Then we can move on. So, Luster or Baby, whoever wants to unmute and answer the question, go ahead. Okay, Luster unmuted. Is your microphone working, brother? Make sure you gave Discord permission to use your microphone if you're on your phone. If you don't give it permission, it will not let you use it. Yeah, okay. He probably has to, Luster, you probably have to rejoin the call. Leave the entire stage and call, and then go on your settings and make sure your Discord is allowing you to use it on your phone, because it might not be picking up your microphone, and then we'll bring you back up. All right, Baby, if you are ready to share your point, you can unmute. And until she unmutes and she's ready to share her point, we will do Will to Humble. Will, you are able to unmute and share your point. Why do you think healing is so scary, and why do you feel like we avoid it?
Well, I think that healing is so scary is because, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, I think that it will change them, like change themselves, for the better, instead of just constantly be the worst version of themselves. I think that's what, I think they have a problem with as far as healing, because you've done so much to get where you at. Just having that, just be there, sit behind the back of your head, stored somewhere. It's like they don't want to get rid of that, because that's what they had to do to get to where they at. And whenever I, listen, and whenever I think about, why they haven't, done those things, it's literally for that reason. I sometimes I do wish that, people didn't, have that mindset. Sometimes I do. Because good things can happen, but it's like, I think the expectation of good things, I think they want, life-changing money, for example. They want a big old house. They want something if they are willing to have that healing process. But to them, they probably like, well, I'm not going to get any of that, so why would I even bother getting help? Like, because in this type of timeline, it's almost like, well, in this modern day world, it's all about transaction. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, if I'm not getting nothing, then why would I do it?
Right.
Why would I go through that process? Like, I'm spending money for therapy, but I'm not really getting anything. But the point is to get help as much as you can.
Okay.
And to just don't believe in that.
Okay. Thank you, Will. That was a good take.
Appreciate it.
Bay, are you ready to speak, or are you still?
I am.
Okay.
I've got it to work now. So.
Got you.
Okay. First off, love your show. Love, love, love. I don't even watch the Pop the Balloon. I just come straight to y'all's channel. So thank you for making it so entertaining. But I wanted to say, I think the reason why people hesitate to take the steps in healing is because they just don't know what to expect from it. They don't have the steps. They don't know how long it's going to take. They don't know what the ins and outs. And like, Will just said before, it's easier just to do what you've been doing because that's always worked. And so, you know, that's why I think even like for people that's older, it's harder for them to heal because they've been operating in whatever system that they've been operating for, you know, all their life. And then someone's coming in at 40, 50 and telling them that the way they've been doing it is wrong. And it's like, but no, it hasn't in their mind. So I think people tend to hesitate because it comes with so much uncertainty and people are just not ready for that. And it's scary. It's scary. It's like, you know, somebody telling you to just like jump off a cliff and you don't know what's coming. You know, you don't know if you're going to fall, get hurt or what. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's an interesting take. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing. I hope it encourages you to speak more on these topics. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Duty, we had you muted for a long time, brother. I know you ready to share. Do you need me to reiterate the topic for you?
No, I got it. I'm following along. Y'all can hear me, right? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Y'all on my Bluetooth speaker. This is my last one because I actually do gotta get up out of here. We talking about healing, right?
Yeah. Why is it so scary, and why do you feel like people avoid it?
Okay. Give you a quick summation. Healing is scary because it involves you looking deeper in yourself and realizing your weaknesses. It's vulnerability. Vulnerability. It's everything is easier said than done. It takes a lot of strength and fortitude, if you will, to look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, I made a mistake. I'm wrong. I messed up. I effed up. I did blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they did what they did and that wasn't right, but you know what? I was not strong enough, or I was not firm enough, or I didn't put my foot down. I didn't do whatever the case may be. That's realizing your flaws as a human being. And as I just said in my last comment, self-improvement does not stop. That continues on for the rest of your life, day in, day out. You know, I used to think, you know what I'm saying, women was doing me wrong, and women have done me wrong. But at the same token, I contributed to some of those things. I didn't speak up enough. I may have been neglectful here or there. I may have said something kind of harsh when I didn't mean it. Whatever the case may have been, it's all a growing and learning process. And like I said, healing involves you being vulnerable and willing to and having humility. That's why I know it's a meme, but when they say, we listen, we don't judge. Oh no, I judge. But I don't judge to hurt feelings. I judge to I judge to give insight so that person can be better. You know, real quick, I don't know if y'all watch My Expert Opinion. It's a rap podcast with a battle rapper, and they was asking this dude. He was like, "So what's up, man? You don't listen to new artists? You know what I'm saying? Like how you feel about new artists?" He was like, "You just tell them that. You just tell them out of here." He was like, "No, I don't say out of here. I say work on it. If I'm criticizing, if I'm judging you, it's because I want you to get better. Now, if you choose not to get better, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? The truth hurts. The truth hurts because it's true. Because you have to look at yourself and realize, like, damn, like, you know what? That is me. I do that. I do have this problem. I have had it. You know what I'm saying? And you have to look at, but don't just look at it. Don't just look at it. They always say, you know better when you do better. No, you do better when you care.
If you don't care, and you'll just never improve. Right. You'll just never improve. You'll be stagnant. So I say all that to say this: look at yourself in the mirror, accept what you've done wrong, be willing to move on from that, and don't repeat the same mistake. You know what I'm saying? Don't look for somebody else to do the work for you.
Right.
You got to do the work yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's my take on it.
Hey, we appreciate you. Make sure you drive safe, man. Yeah, he getting a call. That's it. Oh, I didn't even mean to cut you off, gang.
Yeah, he's getting a phone call.
Yeah, somebody trying to blow that man phone up. Before I get to these last two, Mecca Blue Phoenix with the $5 said, "Happy belated, gang. I appreciate you, family. Thank you for always being supportive." Then he gave another 10. I say, "Hey, I appreciate you again, bro. Thank you for being supportive." Nitro, I didn't forget. Thank you for the $2 super chat, man. We appreciate you, gang. Thank you for always being a loyal member of the flock. Okay, we have Lil Puddin' Pop whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
Hello.
So as far as your question goes as to why people are scared of therapy and stuff or getting help, I feel like people are scared to even reach out is because they're afraid of starting over. They're afraid of like this big question in their mind, like, what is going to happen to me afterwards? Who will be there for me when the chips are down? I suffered loss. I don't want to, go back to how I originally was, because it's scary. Change is scary to them, because it's like we plan out our whole lives in our head thinking this is what we're going to be in the next 4 to 5+ years or so, and when something is of a little inconvenience happens, it falls apart. We're scared of change. We can't reach out to our best significant friends because they feel like their lives are much more better. Their life path is just something that they would possibly want, but they're too scared of saying to them, how did you make it this far? How do you still have a smile on your face when all the obstacles are all against me?
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. Progression is, it's not something that we want to, have it on a hard way. We want it to come easy and fast. That's why we go for quick fixes, things like recreational drugs or things like that, just to ease that relief off for ourselves. But it's always best encouraged to talk to someone you can trust, and that way you won't have to deal with emotional issues with your next person who you're with, your friends, your family. That way we're all close to together,
right?
And be positive for that. It doesn't matter who's there or who's not there. Sometimes it's best to accept flaws and all, because that's what makes us who we are. We're all human. We all feel feelings, and there's nothing wrong with that. To have this stigma where it's discouraged, we're not accepted of that, and it's like we're closed off to it. It's kind of scary, because it's like we don't want to set ourselves back into the way we were in the past.
Mm-hmm.
We want to move forward and continue living ahead so we can get by in life. And it's not just to help improve yourselves, but it's also to encourage your future generations down the line, because it's okay to say you're not okay. It's okay to say I'm struggling, I need help. It's always okay to speak your mind. It's always okay to go to someone and just tell them what's going on.
Right. Okay. Good job, Puddin'.
Oh my God.
All right. Luster, hopefully your thing fixed, and then we got Saint after. Hopefully your microphone is fixed, Luster. You can unmute now.
Yes, sir.
Is it still not working for him? It's funny because I heard his mic tick. That's why I muted it.
He's talking.
You can hear him?
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Hey, my bad. Hey, well, first thing is happy birthday, big man. KiteZz, you're doing a great job. Alex, keep it up as well. Blessings into the new year.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it short. I just want my little 2 cents on the whole healing thing. And one thing I hopefully, maybe not in this vlog talk, but maybe in the future vlog talk, definitely speaking on forgiveness, because I think that's really important as part of the process with healing. It's forgiving yourself, forgiving others, learning how to forgive. It would have been interesting if he would have asked her back, like, not as a clapback, but as a real understanding, like, what have you found forgiveness in yourself for, or some sort of accountability question. I think would have been a good follow up to that combo. But yeah, I appreciate everything y'all do. I definitely want to read more of the Bible, just watching your channel. So I just keep spreading the positivity, guys. Thank you.
Hey, we thank you so much, and we hopefully that
Appreciate
will
you.
encourage you to start speaking on these flock talks, man. We love it when people come up here and just start speaking and talking they talk. So we appreciate you, gang. All right, Saint, thank you for your patience. Your last but not least.
What's happening, man? I want to follow what he's saying, man. The same thing, man. I love, like, I think when I first started watching Pop the Balloon, like, it wasn't really like on some like, I really wasn't kind of like intrigued about it, because obviously I think when most people hear Pop the Balloon or the 20v1s, they think of the other videos, I think. Right. But when I started watching our Let's, I'm like, wait a minute, this is a little different. They kind of, I guess, are setting a little standard here, right? But then right next to her videos is y'all videos. So I'm like, hold up, let me see who these people are. What they talking about? I check y'all out, and like I said, following up with what the what's his the last dude, Luster, right? Same thing, man. It's just like I've been watching y'all like so much now, and it's like not like y'all gave me a different outlook, I guess, because it's like I grew up in the start from stutter. I'm cold as hell right now.
Oh, you good? You fine? You good?
I grew up in a Christian home, right? But and I'm only 24, by the way, so I ain't that old or I ain't that young. But I feel like along the way, and especially in times of today, it's like you're still able to lose a certain piece of yourself, right? And I feel like along the way I definitely lost a certain piece of myself, just indulging in activities that, of course, it's looked at as, yeah, it's just have fun, you're young, this and that. But at the same time, I've always been an introspective person, so I'm always like looking at it to where, I don't know if that's really me doing this. This ain't really me. And it's funny, man, and this is how beautiful timing is, because it's like the more I feel like when I caught onto y'all videos and the time I'm at right now, I'm just all about change and just improving myself. You know what I'm saying? So watching y'all videos and looking at y'all and how y'all view it could be looked at as viewing the world. I mean, viewing love, but it's really looked at viewing the world. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a real outlook. This is a real thing that these people are having, amongst each other.
Right.
So it's like, watching videos, man. It's like a real joy. I ain't gonna lie, it's a real joy. It's a light, because it's like, good people still exist. You know what I'm saying? It ain't people that just, I guess, you look at it and it's like people just want one thing out of you, or people just are looking for something out of you. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm watching y'all, I'm like, damn, these girls, this is building nigga time. You know what I'm saying? Like they just trying to build my. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to put in other words. I ain't want to put it like that, but I'm just saying they out here trying to build. Like, this is build the man workshop. Like, yo, right. You know what I'm saying? So, like it's like we got to go through that. As young black men, older. Like we still got to go through that, because now today is getting crazier and crazier. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I just want to give y'all love. And I guess if I had a little comment about the last episode with the brother standing right here in front of her, she was killing me the entire time. This girl right here, Finesse, she was killing me. I couldn't stand her. Like that comment she made about the kid, her son. I'm like, yo, like what's up with her? Like, why that was unnecessary. I probably would have went off right in front of her, but not in like a crazy way. I probably would have it would have definitely been a clap bag. It should have been tight. They probably would have to cut that out. But I'm just saying no. I'm like, yo, that's disrespectful.
Right.
It was her, and then it was the tall girl. Like, are you gonna get on somebody for the eyebrows? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know, but I would love to make a debut on that show one day, because I feel like they couldn't get me with that. Nah, they ain't get me with that. But I'm just playing. I'm really playing. But like I said, man, shout out to y'all. And y'all from Cali, right? Because I heard y'all say it a couple times. Y'all from Cali, right?
Yeah, we from Cali.
Yeah.
What part of Cali y'all from? If y'all don't mind me asking.
SoCal, the Southern.
Okay. Well, I'm from New York, so SoCal. I know about. I've heard of SoCal and NorCal.
That's like LA.
But New York,
all
niggas, we don't
that.
know the
Yeah,
difference.
LA and all that. Yeah. So.
Okay. I ain't gonna go too deep. I ain't gonna act like, where you from? I know that question. It's different. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. You know what I mean?
man,
I ain't gonna do that. But you know what though? Over the years, I've been in tune with a lot of West Coast things, so I know enough. I feel like as a New York dude to kind of be on the same communication point with y'all.
Right.
But
Okay.
I'm gonna definitely be in here more, man. Because it's funny. I just joined in here. I just joined today. I was like, yo, they live still? I looked at it. I'm like, yo, what is link at? I checked the description. I ain't see it. So I'm like, okay, it's in the chat. So I was like, all right, I'm here. Bet. So, I'm glad I caught y'all. I'm glad I was able to, be here and talk with y'all, man. Like I said, I'm gonna still be here, so y'all gonna see me more. So, yeah.
Hey, I
appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, man. Likewise,
Hey, shout out to New
bro.
York. We got a lot of New Yorkers in here, man. Shout out to New York, bro. We love y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey. All right, gang. Hopefully you talk on the next topic, all right?
All right, man.
All right. Woo! Hey, man. It's crazy. One thing I will say I love about this content stuff, it's really crazy, like the different areas of people that watch our stuff, because there's some people that be from like my home city where I grew up at, and then there's people from countries that I've never heard of, you feel me, that be showing love. And so it's like, hey, shout out to everybody, man. We love y'all. To end off, Alex, did you have anything to talk about with the healing before we move on to the next segment? No? Okay.
I think everybody said pretty much what needed to be said.
Okay, shout out to it. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna throw this out here. Here's a take I don't think a lot of people are gonna think about. A lot of people run away from healing because if doing that healing is gonna cause that self-reflection, and it means that you can't get away with doing the things that you did when you were broken. And a lot of people don't want to heal because it allows them to keep on to these things that they say are the reason why they do things and the broken things that they have. And it gives them the excuse to get away with doing the damage that they do to other people. And so a lot of people don't want to heal because if you heal, you get rid of that thing that you can't hold that grudge against your best friend no more. You can't constantly bring it up and use it as a weapon no more. You can't blame such and such no more, because once you have to do that healing, reflecting, and have to say that, hey, this is my fault. Now, all the excuses that you get to hide behind on why you do bad things to people, you don't have those no more. And so now you don't have that crutch anymore. But that's just a side take. You feel me? But let's get on to the second topic, the next topic. If anybody would like to start the next topic, go ahead and raise your hand. Who wants to start the next topic? Jules, you already started the topic, so we're gonna let either Goddess or L Dragon start the next topic. You already started the topic, gang. Oh, I guess it's gonna be Goddess. Chill Vibes, how you doing? Welcome to the stream, Gaggy. Goddess, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How's everybody doing out there?
We doing great.
Good, how are you?
Shout out to Mike Jones. Shout out to Kai Mobley. Shout out to the Blessings Report Studios. All right, Goddess. Did you raise your hand and leave, woman? You always doing something. Be still. All right.
Okay.
You starting the next topic, Goddess.
All right.
So I don't want to hear no excuses about the topic. You better start it.
Okay. So my question was, this was about the Travis Hunter situation with his fiance. So it was a lot of buzz on the internet, in regards to the fiance being a gold digger and, just using him for his fame and things like that. So yeah, that was my question for you all is, do you guys agree with majority of the people out there who feel like she is a gold digger, or do you feel like they're just judging the whole situation entirely? So that's what I wanted to know.
Okay, so how do people feel about Travis Hunter and his fiance? I'll ask this: how do you feel about it?
Know who that is?
Well, I'm about to give you context, but how do you feel about it before we start, Goddess?
Well, I honestly just heard about this the other day. So I was just looking at a lot of people's outlook on. They were kind of looking at certain videos that was out there. Like, I'm not sure exactly what it was. Was it the Heisman Award or something else that he got awarded? And they're talking about how she was sitting down when he was coming through to, you know, give his family a hug and things like that. And then there was another situation where they were saying that I guess they posted a couple's video, and she was saying that she wasn't to him at first, and then later on, I don't know, I guess she gave him a chance and things like that, and she's been with him ever since.
Okay,
but I guess my feeling about it is I wouldn't necessarily say like gold digger, just because I don't know the full context of everything. I know they've been together for a long time, but I don't know. I think people are very critical of these situations because, you know, they don't know the ins and outs of their relationship entirely. They just kind of see what's, you know, posted, like a few seconds of a video and things like that. So I'm not going to say like, oh yeah, she's a gold digger and this and that when I don't know the full context, but that's why I was kind of wondering what other people felt like it. I mean, maybe she's not used to this type of world still, because when you have a partner that's in the limelight, you know, there are certain things that of course you got to be aware of because the whole world is staring at you. So maybe it could be that, you know, she's still trying to get adjusted maybe to him, you know, with his fame and things like that, when in her eyes he's a regular guy, but to everyone else, like, you know, he's really popular and he's very successful. So yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, shout out to you, Goddess. So Travis Hunter is the topic that we're gonna be talking about. I will say this: if anybody has a YouTube link that is going to give a brief summary of this situation that we can watch, that way we can educate more people on the topic. If you have that link or that clip or something, go ahead and put it in this chat so I can know. But right now I'm just gonna go off of what is going on with this, because from what I know, Travis Hunter just got the Heisman Award. I've seen clips of Travis Hunter's girlfriend trending, and there's different clips of, like, there was one where he had just got done winning a game and he ran out to go hug her, and she like moved away from his kiss and like crossed her arms like she had an attitude, and a lot of people were mad, like, why are you upset? Your boyfriend just won a big important game. Why are you bringing that energy? And then I saw another clip of, I guess she kind of threw a fit when it was time for him to win his trophy. And so, but I don't have enough context. I'm gonna see if these two videos right here will be a good enough context.
First things first, we need to shout out the Colorado Buffalo star Travis Hunter for winning the coveted Heisman Trophy. And while he's been receiving a lot of praise for his elite sportsmanship as a junior in college, his accomplishment was quickly overshadowed by the internet chatter and feedback about his relationship with his fiancée and how she showed up for him at his ceremony. Opinions have been flying, and he and his boo have clapped back. Here's everything we know so far, so you know. In case you missed it, last year when Deion Sanders took over as the head coach of the Colorado Buffs, he took the team's L's and made them winners. His streak continued this season with his son Shador as quarterback, but more importantly with Travis Hunter as his cornerback and wide receiver. It became evident that Travis's talents were going to make him a contender for the Heisman, so nobody was shocked when he won, but many people were shocked at how his fiancée seemed to react. For starters, his fiancée Leanna Lene was dragged in the internet streets for how she acted at the Heisman Trophy ceremony when she didn't stand up to applaud his win. Folks noticed that Coach Sanders had to nudge her to stand and congratulate Travis along with everyone else in the audience, but more importantly, in his camp. One fan said, Deion Sanders shows great emotion for Travis Hunter as he wins the Heisman Trophy. Watch as he has to instruct his girlfriend to stand and acknowledge him as he is walking over. The signs are all there, Travis Hunter. Let her go, bro. And like the man in love with his lady, Travis wasn't having it and jumped online to Leanna's defense immediately.
Find something else to talk about. Talk about my girl. Go talk about your girl. Go find a girl. Go find a life. Stop worrying about what I got going on. I know what I got. I know my girl. My girl been with me for 5 years. Y'all are just not starting to talk about me and just not starting to be with me. Like, come on, man. Y'all go do something else with y'all life.
Roomies reacted with one person saying, "One thing I've learned in my 39 years on this earth, you can't tell a grown man nothing about his woman, and you can't tell a grown woman nothing about her man. Let these youngins live their life and learn whatever lessons God wants them to learn along the way." Another roomie commented and said, "This is how women be defending they men when they know they ain't ish. But you know the internet is going to internet and give receipts, so the backlash continued when people found out that Leanna had said that Travis wasn't her type before they were a couple. In an effort to clear the air, Leanna says she spoke to Travis and got his permission to address the controversy with an 8-minute video that she uploaded to TikTok, in part explaining why she said he wasn't her type.
So when I said he wasn't my type, I meant because he was younger than me. I had never dated no one younger than me, and he had cheated on his girlfriend. I don't know if your type is cheaters, but mine isn't. So no, he wasn't my type at first off of those two things. But that didn't discredit the fact that I was attracted to him. That's obviously why I gave him a chance. And then I learned he truly is a phenomenal and wonderful human being, and that's why we're together, and that's why we're still together to this day.
This got a reaction from former NFL star Terrell Owens, who said, "I'm glad she took the time to address these social media attacks in which she didn't have to, but I'm glad she did. Social media, along with its perceptions and optics, isn't always reality. This is main reason why people need to mind their own business. Just my 2 cents." As well as other roomies that didn't think she needed to explain anything to the internet. One person saying, "I wouldn't explain a damn thing to y'all." And another saying, "Y'all really forgetting they are college kids, LOL." What do you think, roomies? Do Travis Hunter and his fiance owe the internet any explanation?
Okay, so that is...
No, I do not.
Oh, talk, Alex, go ahead.
I don't understand what the problem is, because like they're college kids, they're young, they're in love. Like he said, people are only making a big deal about it because social media has a good way of showing and portraying things for something that it's not. So you could take that video and they can add any caption, any storyline, or any type of misunderstanding or interpretation to the video without having context of it. So I don't think they owe anybody an explanation. Yeah, they're on the internet, they're in the limelight, but they don't owe anybody an explanation.
Okay.
That's their relationship.
Okay. So now we're gonna ask the question: how do you guys feel about the Travis Hunter and his girlfriend situation? What is your opinions on it? Shout out to Bird Lady Speaks. Welcome to the stream. Jonathan26. Hey, Kite and Alex, happy belated birthday. Hey, man. Thank you, bro. We appreciate you, family. All right, let's see what y'all got to say about Travis Hunter and his girlfriend. I'm going to drag 3 of y'all randomly. All right. Who wants to go first?
Me.
Got you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. First time on the show. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey.
So I was watching a breakdown of the whole thing. The channel that I was watching it on is Lovely Tea, right? Okay.
Yep.
What struck me is that when they asked the girl the backstory of the relationship, and she said she DM'd her and she was ignoring it for some time because he was not her type. She said he was not her type, and then he kept pressing, and then she's like, okay, let me just talk to this guy. And then when she talked to him, she friend zoned him. And then, so I'm like, oh, that's kind of, that's kind of weird. But yeah, like, so if you watch the breakdown, well, listen to it, whatever, you'll probably have the same opinion, like, oh wow, she's not interested. I think it's because of money.
Okay.
I think it's because it's money. Because to me personally, no shade, but he's not attractive.
Okay.
That's it. That's for me. Yeah.
Also, thank you for the birthday gift. I appreciate you, family.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so
I'm from Jamaica, by the way. That's why I have an accent. I'm
hey,
from Jamaica.
shout out to
I live
Jamaica.
in-
Oh, Nitro, come get your peoples.
Nitro, come get your Jamaican peoples, gang. Shout out to Jamaica.
And I live in the Bronx, New York, Bronx.
Okay.
Okay, shout out to the Bronx, Big Bronx. Shout out to y'all.
All right.
Okay, hopefully you have more to say later on. We'll bring you back up here. All right, Poetical or Miles? Oops, I just moved Poetical down. I didn't mean to do that. My fault, gang. Poetical, raise your hand, gang. My bad. My fault, gangy. Miles, go ahead, man. How do you feel about Travis Hunter and his girlfriend? What do you feel?
First of all, let me just say, I know Paulie. I know her oxtails is banging. I could just tell. I'm just letting you know.
shout out to
I already know the
oxtails.
you know what I'm saying? The curry goat, man, the jerk chicken is, man, it's like that. I'm gonna have to slide in her DMs. I'm just saying. I ain't that far. You know? But I'm in Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? Just come right up. Ain't no problem. I'll be right there in a minute.
All right.
But do you have a bomb emoji? Do you have like one of those, like a bomb sound? I'm about to drop 2 bombs right now, real quick.
I do, but we can't use them in here, unfortunately. But we'll just do the boom. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Gang.
All right, so here's something interesting, right? So the first bomb is I don't really watch football. But the second bomb is Deion Sanders' great-great-grandmother that was in slavery time had a sister. And her sister was my great-great-grandmother. So he is my cousin, actually. Yeah, I found that out when I was a kid, and I still really never watched him play football because I just don't watch it. But yeah, that's cuz to me, and so I know him a little bit. Yeah, shout out to him. You know, I heard he was really good at football. He really don't like that girl because he don't really play that. He's just being nice, you know, in front of the people. But the whole thing with this whole Travis and this lady, it's typical default standard problem that the whole athlete woman, you know, the whole scenario. He's an athlete. She's a woman who sees dollar signs. One of the problem with athletes is they have a hard time finding women because they don't really know how to interact with people. They're so used to just talking to women because of their sporting skill, not having real game. So they don't know how to find a decent woman. But she's not an idiot because there's a group of women out here in all sports. They all are together in basically in covens. They all look the same. They think the same. They dress the same. They literally look like twins, and they literally can see the dollar signs from the gate. I'm talking about even from like the high school level. They literally counting the estimation that you like what you might make, and pretty much will just be there for you through thick and thin, and then you know just stay there until they can find another guy. They really, my guess, I'm looking at him. My guess, honestly, she just just sticking around to see where this goes, and if it goes anywhere more than this, she'll entertain it. But I could see her jumping, having a TV show, splitting with him, making sure there's a baby secure, so alimony, child support, all that connects. And it's the same song and dance. You've seen this with tons of athletes, and he just the new one on the line. It's nothing different, and he could see it now. And hopefully he should make that move and switch up now, but he too in his bag. He don't really see it because he's the man right now. He don't really know, but he'll find out eventually. It happened to 1,000 athletes before him, and it's no different. So just hopefully he'll wake up and just realize that and get with a woman kind of like LeBron James and his wife. Get with someone who's not in the limelight like that, not making a bunch of noise, but we'll see as time goes on. We'll see where it goes.
Okay. Shoot, spicy take. So he feels like she's in it for the moolah, the cheddar, the green, which is unfortunately it is a song and dance that we all know way too much. We know way too well. It happens way too often. It's hard to find out. I say this. Always find your match, your romance, your everything, your homies, get your squad, your lover, all that. Get all of that before you become famous. Find it before. Or if you get fame and you get all that, don't start looking for it once you get to that level, because I guarantee you if they weren't looking at you when you were broke, then there's got to be a reason why they're looking at you now that you up. You feel me? My whole squad, all the 2G1A know that my homies, the homies that I got right now, there ain't no more. Like, if I ever make it, 2G1A staying with the same number of people, because if you wasn't with me when I was down here on level 1 and you suddenly show up at level 5 and you like, hey gang, I'm trying to be a part with you on, I see your vision, I'm gonna look at you crazy, because it's like, where was you at levels 2, 3, 4 when we got put in the penalty box? Like, where was you at on all those other sections? But now you're here. You get me? But that's just my opinion. But Poetical, how do you feel about the Travis Hunter situation?
Another interesting topic to talk about. Okay, my thing with this is with her, I feel like some of the stuff that she's said, like publicly, didn't need to be said publicly. That could have stayed behind closed doors. As far as her talking about, like, I didn't like him at first, he kept trying to, talk to me, blah blah blah. Like, I mean, I get it, because some people want to know like the story origin of the relationship, but I don't feel like that needed to come out and needed to be said, because it just raises more eyebrows, so to speak. As a whole, I think their relationship is their relationship. I mean, a lot of us are spectators. I mean, their relationship is not going to be perfect just because he's a Heisman Trophy athlete. Like, it's not, every relationship has trials and tribulations.
Right.
So, again, their relationship is not going to be perfect. What I would also like to say about I believe that the uproar about this is Travis Hunter being this athlete that he is, that winning the Heisman Trophy, he's gonna probably be next up in the NFL and get drafted high and all that stuff. And I think the uproar is him being a black male, him having a girlfriend that is of non-black descent, because I believe she's Hispanic. I think that's more of what the uproar is, like another one of, here comes like another black male athlete who's in position to become famous and gain all this money, and he doesn't have a black girlfriend. And I think that's what makes the internet and a lot of these things kind of be in an uproar.
Okay.
But also to that point, I also feel like to that point too is like, let's go back to Dion for a second. I mean, I got a chance to watch Dion as an athlete. Dion was an amazing defensive back, one of the best I've ever watched. But people didn't like Dion's personality because they thought he was boisterous and he was flossing all the money, which he did. But it's like, there's this whole thing where if you're a black athlete and you've made it, and you made it to this certain height and level, that you're supposed to be kind of meek and bigger, you're just supposed to kind of shut up and just be quiet. And I don't like that narrative, because I feel like that's tired. Like, if you work this hard to get to a certain level, you have the right to not necessarily be arrogant. That's too much, but you should be able to be happy with what you accomplish as a person. You don't have to be just meek and meager and just walking around like kind of hunched over. And I'm kind of exaggerating that, but it always seems like that's the position they wanted to be in, like just be quiet and get on field and just do that. And it's like, well, there's more to it, because now that you've gotten to this level, you have a lot more influence in a lot of different aspects. It's, people are watching you from various different reasons. That's why I give a lot of credit to people like LeBron, who's managed to keep their image pretty relatively clean, being in the position that someone like him has been in, while other people on the whole world is getting to comment on your life, your relationship, everything that you do is under scrutiny. So But that's just the other perspective I wanted to throw in there. I feel like the uproar about this is more like the fact that we're even talking about her relationship is kind of like whatever. I mean, that could be kind of viewed as like little chatty and gossipy, but I feel like the bigger thing is like, okay, he's a black male athlete who has all this talent, and he's not with a black woman. And that makes a lot of, I believe that makes a lot of black women not probably like support him as much as they would want to, because they don't like that dynamic. But again, he's an adult and he's free to choose who he wants to be in relationship with. And I mean, if the relationship don't work, well, that's, he's young, that's for him to learn through trial and error. So I mean, we can't puppeteer his life, we can't control his life, because he's in a position that not a lot of us will ever be in. So
okay,
that's my take on that.
Okay, shout out to Big Poetical with the awesome. We have our one and only 2G1A executioner, West Side.
I'm gonna be honest. I respect your opinion, Poetical, even though you're not here no more. But I don't really think it got anything to do with her race. I think it's just more so everybody judging her character based off of the actions that she is making with cameras on her. Like, it don't really take a rocket scientist for you to stand up and applaud your significant other when he receives a reward. It don't really take a rocket scientist to, like, yo significant other just got finished winning the game and he coming to hug you and you look like you got an attitude. It's like the cameras are always on this girl, and every time the cameras are on her, she's doing things that give people the ammo that they need to judge her and come for her character. And if she was really like as smart as she like led herself to believe, it would be no reason for people to always have something to say about her based on the things she's doing. Like, I forgot who mentioned it, but you letting the world know that you got DMs from this man and ignored him and put him in the friend zone and on purpose, and like had no interest in talking to him because of your type. Like, who are you to try and like what's the word I'm looking for? Gaslight us into believing that like him not being my type is because he was a cheater and I don't mess with cheaters. Like, nah, somebody off first rip, you don't know anything about anybody but your attraction level to this person. If I'm attracted to you, then you my type. I don't know anything about you, but if I'm attracted to you, I'll get to learn more about you and talk to you to see if you actually hit on personality and other morals that I'm in line with. So like, for you to say he's not your type because you thought he was ugly, and that's cool. It's somebody for everybody. He might not be for you, but you see the potential that this man has and like what he can achieve, and that's what, as somebody else said, that's what is allowing her to stay along for this ride, essentially. So, and I'm gonna be 100% honest. I hate to judge somebody that I don't know, but you gotta look at dude, and then you gotta realize he probably don't get that much play action around his way. So he with somebody that he deems very beautiful. He had to put in the pursuit to get her, and she eventually like let up and like let him in that way. That's why he's defending her as hard as he is on the internet. He not gonna let anybody say anything about her, and his rebuttal is, y'all need to go find a girlfriend. I got a girlfriend or fiance or whatever the case may be. And if it is meant for this to like go down bad for him, hopefully it's not. That's just a lesson that he gonna have to learn, and that he gonna have to deal with everybody on the internet saying I told you so. But I don't think that the most immediate and like negative thing should be like, oh, this is getting ready to blow up in your face. We don't know that, but based off what we're seeing right now, what's being pushed in the media, it don't look too good for him. So that's really all I can say about it.
Okay, shout out to Big West, one of my right hand man of the 2G1A crew. It's his first appearance on the Flock Talk. We're gonna have Squad Princess. You're unmuted. You can share your take if she's here.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you again. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know that much about Travis Hunter or his girlfriend, whatever. The extent of my knowledge doesn't really go past Facebook or Instagram Reels. So the whole trending topic is new to me. However, I have seen and heard about it. At this point, I'm kind of I'm like leaning towards more that her etiquette is more of a young, naive, unknowing type thing to me. And I say this because just looking around at different shows, looking at the world, just watching younger people in general. A lot of people in the younger generation don't know proper etiquette, and I know times have changed. So let me go back and rephrase that. I don't want to say proper etiquette, but let's just say the etiquette of our generation. So things such as wearing a hat inside, or like looking at Pop the Balloon. There's a lot of guys that will wear sunglasses. Could I be wrong? Absolutely, because I don't know the dynamics of their relationship. They said they were together 5 years. I don't know if he's been in the limelight that long, or if she was with him when he was a nobody. I'm not sure, but I don't know. She could have been irritated if she's not used to all the fame and stuff. She could have been irritated. She could have been overwhelmed. I think Goddess was the one that mentioned that she could have just been tired, of all the cameras, and that's a very big thing if you're not used to it.
Right.
But also, someone, I didn't catch the name, but someone mentioned something about her saying that he wasn't her type in the beginning.
Yes.
And I mean, I want to speak on that because I've been married for 20 years, over 20 years. And there's a lot that I don't remember yesterday, but I can tell you my ex before I got married, he was never my type. However, he won me over because he continued to pursue me and he was a gentleman. So it's like his personality won me over. And no, I mean, he wasn't what somebody would call handsome. I used to call him the brown Shrek, and I do remember that. He was the brown Shrek. He looked like a little Blastoise turtle from Pokemon. See, I called him Blastoise. But yeah, all he was missing was the 2 cannons on his shoulders. But he was nice. He was a gentleman. He opened doors. He did things that the guys our age did not do. And as a young girl, like I was a teenager, then as a young girl, I was like, wow, he's really nice and he likes me, he's digging me or whatever. So I mean that doesn't mean that she doesn't like him just because he may not have been her type in the beginning. Because I think a few of us has probably been through that, male or female. And then I wanna just wrap it up because I don't want to keep talking. Let somebody else get a chance. But we need to stop all this with the celebrity couples and whatnot. I mean, I know it's entertainment and it's something to talk about, and we're gonna gossip. But I do the same thing. But in our mindset, we shouldn't let these things get us in an uproar where we're literally upset about these people we don't know. We need to stop doing that because if we haven't learned about Will and Jada, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Remy, and Pap, if we haven't learned yet to mind our business and stop putting these people, these so-called power couples, on a pedestal, looking at their lives and what we see is just 5% of their lives. We don't see what goes on behind closed doors. The people that we thought were the perfect, like, epitome of black love just disappointed us in the past couple of years. So, I mean, we don't know. We're just getting a glimpse. And like I said, I'm part of it too. You know, it makes for good talk, but we shouldn't let it dictate if it makes us angry. These people aren't our cousins, brothers, sister. They don't know us. They could not care any less about what we feel. They're still gonna get that money. But yeah, it's kind of silly to even get ourselves over a relationship that, you know, is not ours really. And it doesn't matter if they stay together or not. It doesn't matter to us. It shouldn't matter to us. It's their life. It should only matter to them.
Okay. Talk your talk. Talk your talk. All right.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Yeah.
Shout out to you. Gino, you're up next, gang. We ain't heard from you today.
I really can't with y'all in the chat. Y'all wildin'.
Hey, what I tell you about coming in here with that
I'm
sleep
give
voice,
y'all-
man? Nah, see.
Yeah, you heard me earlier, man. I was sleeping. Goddamn. I was snoring and everything. So hey, let me wake up. I'm gonna give y'all more context on the whole relationship thing, because she was a stripper in Atlanta in 2019, 2020.
No, hold, wait, time out.
Yeah, she had an OnlyFans in 2020.
I can't even say the word I was gonna say, man, because you know this is a family friendly stream. But he came with the Carfax essentially for you know, these type of women. Is all I'm gonna say, and y'all can connect the context clues and such.
And let me goddamn. Travis Hunter has been, well, he's a big Georgia little athlete, so he been making money since 2021, since he committed to Jackson State because of the NIL. He's been a millionaire since 2021. So, and they got together in 2022. And they're now engaged in 2024 of February. Now her OnlyFans ceased to exist. So I don't know what's going on with that, but something going on in the back. So maybe, but the boy know what he doing. Let the man be an adult, learn from his mistakes. And people going to comment about it regardless, because he was a Heisman Trophy winner and he's a millionaire. And he's probably going to be the number one pick in this draft that's coming up. So they're going to keep on talking about this until the draft, and even after the draft. So
you got you got Carfax checked because she was a stripper, but you said she was a stripper in 2019?
2019, 2020.
Yeah, they got together. They said they've been together for 5 years, so technically he got with her when she was stripping. So, because they got together in 2019.
That makes it worse.
That does make it worse.
That makes it worse.
Thank you, Blessing Report Studios, for the correction. We appreciate you. But yeah, so that makes it even worse.
That's crazy. We got informants out here. Y'all are the feds.
For 5 years. That means he was 17. And she 2 years older than him.
Oh, how old is Travis Hunter?
He's 21. She 23.
Wait.
Oh.
23 minus 5 is 18.
He was 17.
And he was 17. I ain't got no comment. I ain't got no comment.
Hey.
It's not my opinion. Okay. The more I know, the less I want to know.
Money make you do crazy things. So,
Lord.
but yeah, they gonna do what they gonna do. He know what he doing. He gonna regret it, or he gonna learn from it.
And I mean, the problem is that everybody finds, unfortunately, for some reason, I guess everybody has no motion, and they find comfort in like being obsessed with celebrities' lives. You know, I don't care about any of these people. I only care about the people in my immediate vicinity. But for some reason, people can't put that phone down or get off Twitter or get off Facebook or whatever, and they become obsessed with people who would spit on them if they ask them for a handshake. I don't really get it, personally.
Yep. All right, Gino. Nitro. Let's go. How do you feel about this situation?
So the only thing I heard about this situation, people could correct me if I'm wrong, but on top of what Gino was just saying, I also heard they had broken up or whatever, right? And I guess he's prospected to make a certain amount of money by going through whatever he's going through professionally, and she got back with him. So if all of that is true, I just pray the brother uses the brain that God gave him before he learns a real lesson, because in the words of Kanye, we ain't saying that she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke.
Okay.
I'm done.
All right, shout out Big Nitro, man. Shout out Nitro. All right, Winston. Well, Will Too Humble was first. He been waiting, so let's get him out the way. Will Too Humble, what is your take on the situation? I think I unmuted him.
Oh.
All right, we heard something. We don't. There you are. Might get
my phone was acting.
Yes, sir.
My bad. My phone was acting stupid. But
you get attacked.
To be honest, it's same conversation, different day, and knowing that, you know, what you think was gonna happen as far as, you know, the amount of negativity you were gonna get from the messages, because obviously, you know, at the end of the day, right, action is gonna speak louder than words through anything. And for what Gino said, action spoke very clearly. Action spoke very clearly, loud as it can get. There's no other reason except for that. Like, it really goes to show that anything as far as like you having high status, low status, it seems like this is it as far as like social media is involved. And it's crazy because every single time I hear a athlete, some sort of athlete, whether you play, you know, football to pretty much hockey, it's always like that one OF person that's just hanging around, clenched. They don't want to let go. They just like, you're gonna carry me until, you know, you don't have anything anymore, and then I'm gonna just latch on to somebody else. And it's like, do y'all not see the signs? Like, it's the social media and the internet for. Do you not look at other people's lives and make sure you don't get to that point? What are we doing? That's that thing, and that's another thing I just don't understand. You see what's going on with other people's lives, but then it's like, well, that won't happen to me. Look at it now. Look, like, huh? It's almost like, all right, it's like when people be sitting there talking to you, and then goes in one ear and out the other. You're just like, huh? That's what it's like. But you're watching it. You're watching it. Like Princess said earlier, all the Jada Smiths, you know, Jay Pinkett, you know, Papoose and them. It's like y'all see it, and you don't even try to avoid it. You like, you know what? This is the idea. This is the idea for me to get out here, get on social media, and not can be controversial as much as possible, so I can get all eyes on me. For the wrong reason.
Right.
Not the good reason, the wrong reason. So it's just mind-boggling, and I absolutely know for a fact, days and days, we gonna still ask the same question. I want to say 10 years from now, where all the good men at?
Talk about it. All right.
Like, can't make this. All right.
Will Too Humble cooking up, boy. All right, Winston Mayo. It's your turn, Gengi.
Hey, guys.
How you doing?
I'm good. It's my first time. I'm the Blessing Report on YouTube.
Shout out to you.
And I think this topic is a little difficult for people because there's a lot of factors. So number one, I can't remember the mix, but she's Latina and black. So I think her dad or mom's Jamaican, right? And so people don't like the look of it because it looks like a Latina taking a young black man for his money. But it's also cultural in a way because there's a personality dynamic that people aren't accustomed to. In the United States, it's like, hey, if the man basically makes enough money, the woman should fall in line. And so basically she's falling out of place by having some character flaws and like not kissing him and like all that other stuff. But we don't give room for their youth, right? Of just being like, hey, some people are just like more reactive, and a lot of people aren't married, and y'all are married. So seeing like people grow together when they're young and dumb, that's one aspect. But also the money aspect is a really big aspect, right? Of like, hey, you're trying to warn a dude about like, hey, her character is something that may not go away. So it may be a red flag, or she may be young. So people are trying to figure out that dynamic. And then the last dynamic, which is kind of in y'all's vein, is that I don't know about him, but she claims to be Christian, but they living together, having sex outside of marriage and all this stuff. And so like when she did her little, I don't know, it's like a explanation video, she was like, there's no testimony without a test. So she be in that type of Christianity where it don't lead to holiness. And so this is just the product of sin. Yeah, you're gonna like fight a lot and have all this stuff because you're inviting the devil into your mix.
Right.
They're not even like doing it the right way, that they got protection, they got wisdom and guidance and stuff like that. So it's a lot of dynamics that are happening right now of like, hey, will she change eventually? Is he a cheater? Is she in it for the money? So it's a lot of stuff. So I would like to hear about what y'all think about just the marriage dynamic of it, because do you think people should be like natural fits initially, or can people grow into learning each other? So that's all I have.
Okay, shout out to you. And, to answer your question, that is a very good question, because one thing I've learned is that relationships, even as being a married person, relationships, there is obviously the initial attraction, which the word I hate, that you get from people. But I've noticed that the people that I see that are still married in my friends groups, in my family, are the people that, yeah, they were attracted to each other, but they were always people that were friends, or they knew of each other or had relations with each other that grew into the relationship. Because I know for me and Alex, we've already said this in our personal story. Alex didn't approach me because I was a jock in high school, and Alex didn't like jocks. I didn't approach Alex because I grew up in a super strict household. Every girlfriend that I got, my sisters found out, because my sisters basically ran every school I went to. So even if they had graduated out of the school, my sisters had people that were constantly watching me in the school. Every girl that I tried to have a relationship with, my sister's assassination squad made sure my relationship didn't last 2 weeks, and that went my entire life. So I got to a point where all my relationships got interrupted or ruined, to the point where I was just like, you know what, bro? I give up on the dating thing. I just had a female best friend that I respected her because I was friends with her brother. That was my female best friend through the rest of high school. I met Alex in high school. When I went to college, that's when my family was like, hey, you're in college now. If you want to date, do whatever you want to do. We don't care, as long as you don't bring nobody. As long as they God-fearing, I don't care. And so me and Alex had already met in high school. We talked in high school. We clicked it. We were cool, but we didn't have like a romantic connection. It wasn't until college, then that's when we saw each other again, relearned each other again, and it created that relationship that way. Because I thought Alex was attractive. Alex, in her words, said I was attractive, but there was no attempt in relationship until college. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like growing into the relationship is more of the key of it. I don't believe that. There are people who God can say is like going to be your natural fit, but I don't know how God operates all the way, because remember they said that God's thinking is not our own. So he could have somebody that is the perfect fit for you, and it could be a love at first sight thing, or it could be a trial and tribulation turn these people into a couple, or other scenarios. But I do, in my opinion, I believe that people getting to know people into that relationship is the best way. It gives the best results, in my opinion, as a married man. But yeah, but thank you for that question. All right, let's get to this last segment. This is the segment that a lot of y'all have been waiting for all day. Cooking with Kiya.
Cooking with Kiya. Cooking with Kiya. Cooking with Kiya.
All right, all you people that have your opinions about this Cooking with Kiya situation, now is the time. Raise your hand. Look how fast they start raising hand.
That's what I'm saying. They fiending. They was fiending to discuss this.
You are they. I don't know why you're trying to act like
Khalil the goat.
Okay, no, that gif is fine because she don't turn around, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's all right.
Gosh, dang, Zeus Titan with a 99 bomb. $99.99 from Zeus Titan. Just cause it's Friday. I'm trying to Zeus, can I work for you? Can I get put on your payroll? Like what do you do? Put me on. All right, let's do this Cooking with Kiya nonsense, man. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys the flat out disclaimer. I don't know if Alex knows a lot of context, because I didn't find out about this until Alex talked to me about it. Thank God my feed is not filled with Cooking with Kiya on my TikTok. My TikTok is mostly filled with
friends are for.
No, that's not a good reason to have friends. But
no, I'm just saying, your friends, we got the timeline that you don't subscribe to, so we can fill you in.
I ended up getting it on my feed, and I don't watch any of that stuff on TikTok, so it really don't. I don't think it matters.
Yeah, so apparently there's a girl on social media. The fact that as soon as I typed her name, it was just. Let's see.
Let Monet be one of the first people to come
if
up.
you tried Kiya's chicken pasta. Because welcome to another video. Cooking with Kiya. Cooking with Kiya.
Okay, that's how far we gonna go. So her catchphrase is,
You already know what comes next.
I can take your man. You better cook for him before I take your man. I guess that's along the lines of what she's saying. And then I guess she dances after in a very adult way. I don't know, but for some reason everybody and their mama is talking about this crap, and I don't understand, because aren't we in the day and age where the OnlyFans chicks are everywhere? Like, what is different? Like, the hot tour girl exists. Like, what do we like? I don't know. We pick the stupidest things to like be stuck on as a society, but we gonna bring you up. Hey, I will say this: keep this conversation PG rated. All right, keep it PG rated. I'm not trying to censor no whole podcast. PG rated. If y'all can't do it, we will end this subject right here now. PG rated. Remember, this is a Christian program. All right.
Hey.
I'm gonna bring everybody up. Everybody,
is my
please
audio
mute.
good? Cause I got some Wi-Fi acting stupid.
You good, gang? You good? So I'm gonna start muting
I just
people.
want to make sure I wasn't getting deep fried.
Yeah, you good? I'm gonna mute everybody. Make sure
Deep fried
everybody
like that calamari I just had.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Calamari. I don't need to mute man. Maybe 2G one there. He can do whatever. But okay. Monet, let's go. What about this?
Okay.
This.
So here's the thing. I don't have an issue with what she's doing. Perhaps she's found her niche. You know, she's on social media doing her thing. In my opinion, her content is tailored to the male demographic. So of course the males are the ones who enjoy it. The problem, no, let me say my whole entirety. So I feel as though the women are having the issues because they can't shake their groove thing how she can, or, you know, cook. The only things that they can cook is that Cajun pasta, chicken Alfredo, and all that jazz, instead of learning how to cook for real. So I feel as though that's, you know, a little bit of the problem. That's envy is definitely at part. However, with Alex, but however, with this like thing here, I don't like how can I say this word? I think so.
What is the word?
I don't like.
If you wouldn't say it in front of your mama, don't say it.
Sexualizing?
Okay, no, that's fine.
I can say that word in front of my mama.
Yeah.
But so, but I don't like how we're sexualizing a basic domestic task, a life skill. Everybody and their mama should know how to cook. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel as though we should be sexualizing that, because here's my thing, right? There's other people who have started their own thing. Like I was looking at, I was scrolling through my TikTok feed and there was this guy, it's called Cooking with Dante or whatever. Or whatever his name was, or DeAndre, something like that. But, he was like, oh, cooking with Deontay, I'm about to get you, you know, that feeling that you be feeling when you be attracted to somebody, the H word. I don't know if I could say that, but anyways, that's what he was saying. And you know, he was, you know, wearing gray sweatpants. We all know what that effect has on people.
Hello?
So like, yeah. So listen, I just don't like how something as basic as cooking and a life skill has just become, you know, sexualized. Everybody should know how to do it. And I get it, you're getting the attention that you want to on TikTok or whatever social media, you know, platform and all that jazz. And Dusa, I see your point. I do realize that everything, that's what's happening and all that. But I just feel as though, like, there are other things going on in the world. Let's just be happy she know how to turn on her stove. A lot of people don't know how to do that. That's all I'm saying. And that thing's electric. All it takes is, you know, turning on the knob. But, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's just be happy she knows how to do that. No, because if the power go out, you can't use your stove. You need you a gasoline one.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't care if the power go out. I'm not cooking on the stove regardless of if it work or not anyway. What? I gotta hold a flashlight in my mouth and then cook at the same time. Man, we better shoot. You better eat some bags of cereal. What are you talking about? I'm not worried about the stove with the power out. You go, Jack in the Box is open.
You gotta
What
eat.
you talking about?
You gotta eat.
Jack in the Box is open. It's always open. Power on and off.
That's wild. But yeah, that's just my whole thing about it. I think like why the women are upset is just there's just that hints of jealousy, envy, and she's an attractive young girl. She has a natural body from what I can assume. And you know, folks they stuff be, you know, dragging to the floor and all that. So they don't like that. But all I'm saying is it's not something to be upset about, because for real, if she can take your man with a plate of food, then clearly he wasn't meant for you. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. And you should be happy. If she can take your man, then he wasn't meant for you. That's all I'm saying.
Talk your talk.
I mean, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I ain't seen an attractive woman have an issue with this yet. Let's just start there. Like, to be 100
You're not wrong, gang. You're not wrong.
I haven't seen a woman who I deem attractive have an issue with this woman yet. Let's, like, to be 100% honest with you, I think it kind of stems from. Let's be honest. Like, we're gonna keep this in the realm of the pop the balloon stuff, because these are the people that we judging. This is the content that y'all watch. I would bet 100,000 that most of the women on the lineup from that video we just watched can't cook nothing. Maybe a toaster strudel, Maybe a Pop-Tart, they'll probably throw it in the microwave. They probably can't cook
I like
worth for
those, though.
nothing. Yeah, and I do too. But at the end of the day, you got to think about it. Like, so because I find, not only do I find this woman attractive, but I also think that it's nice that she can cook. And, you know, if I dealt with somebody, it probably wouldn't, you know, be somebody of the caliber that, one, I would like, and then two, could also cook for me. Like, this is something that we're finding issue with now. Like, this is a non-issue, and this is truly a non-factor. Like, and the fact that she targets the male demographic, I think that kind of speaks to just how bad it is for men in the dating pool anyway. Like, why can't we come across people to know how to cook? Why don't y'all have y'all grandma recipes no more? Why the recipes getting lost? Y'all don't know how $1 million pie, no type of sweets. Y'all don't throw down at Thanksgiving, no Christmas, nothing. Y'all don't know how to barbecue, nothing. And don't get me wrong, I know how to cook. So I have no problem with that. If I had to cook for myself, I'd be okay. But it's like, nowadays, you don't even have the option if you with some of these women. They don't know how to cook for nothing. They door dashing it up. Thousands of dollars on DoorDash the year because they can't cook nothing. And that's sad. So I don't know, man.
So is the cooking with Kiya situation, is it about the food or is it about the sexualization? Because I'm not understanding what is the, and I'm gonna unmute everybody, and then I'm gonna mute some of y'all because I don't want to hear 50,000 people. May said it's about attention. So what it like, but from what? Like, it's just the situation. Even as I'm the fact that I'm seeing so many people talk about it, and it's just like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I feel like there's bigger issues to be worried about in life versus a girl who twerks and makes a plate of food. Like, it don't make sense.
Winston said he had something he wanted to say, and he wanted, I guess, priority. So I'll let him get his piece off. Yeah, go ahead,
Winston. Go ahead, Winston.
Yo, Wes is right. It's a bunch of different factors, but KiteZz, the main one is about male expectation, right? So if it goes back to the Pop the Balloon series, we in the dating pool have seen that women have so many expectations from men. You need to make this much, you have to be this tall, you have to dress good, like all this stuff, right? But Kiya is going viral for feeding into men also have expectations, but women didn't think that they had to do that in this generation, because cooking, that used to be a regular show of love from a woman. Like Caribbean culture, Latin culture, like Asian culture, if your girl love you, she gonna cook for you, right? But this new generation of women, they're like, we ain't married, I ain't cooking for you. And so that attitude of the women can have expectation but men can't have expectation, Kiya went viral because it's like, nah, I want to treat a guy that I like well. And so that's why she's resonating. Number two, kind of corny, but it is what it is. The jingle's good. Like, it's kind of like that JG Wentworth 877 Cash Now. Like, it's fun. And so, so another reason she's going viral is that women are so serious. Like, they don't know how to have fun and laugh. So yeah, it's a little sexualization in there, but the jingle's fun. So you have a young, attractive girl that's fun. She's cooking for guys. And then in comparison, so that's all the guys' side. She's also going viral from the woman's side because of that hate of like, yo, why should I have to cook? Why do I have to compete? Men, we always compete, right? And now they see that they are in competition with something that they know innately it's wrong that they are withholding. You should be wanting to serve your partner freely. But in this generation, that type of service look like bondage, and it's not bondage, it's just love. And so that's why people are having a real hard time with her, because it's like, oh, I should be doing this, but I'm a feminist. And I think I'm not a feminist, but I want all the benefits of feminism without being submissive. And so they're really hating on this girl that's like, oh, she's not traditional because the way that she dressing and saying, I want to take your man and stuff like that, that's not Christian or traditional at all. Some of echoing traditional values that we used to have in the 90s and the 2000s, but now We don't even have those things anymore. So there's a lot of factors why she's going viral, not just like the sex.
So now everybody, I've unmuted everybody, so now everybody can speak. All I will say is, as long as everybody can respect, if you hear somebody talking, just stop talking, let them talk. But what I would say this is, because now that I'm hearing more of the context, I'm understanding a little bit more. I just feel like, in my opinion, it just seems like this is one of those cases of like, we're making people famous for the wrong reason, and we're stuck on somebody doing something like this, when I'm pretty sure if we look up, dang, Will, you getting jumped or something, gang, I don't know what's happening. Was just doing something, it was so stupid. It was really simple, but everybody inflated it. And I feel like it's one of those cases again, because this trend, like, it don't matter. Like, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I feel like this is stupid. I feel like it's stupid, in my opinion. But y'all go ahead. Like, it just feels dumb to me. Alex, if you got something to say, go ahead, my dear.
No, the peoples can talk.
I've had a really quiet day, so I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna go back to being quiet. We live in a culture of hypocrisy because, like you stated, it's just inflated. It's just somebody's random selection of something just going viral. Like, things aren't even relevant to really go viral. We live in a society where we're in the take your man culture. A lot of female rap, a lot of feminism, around a lot of these things are centered around those conversations. So I'm very, very, very surprised that the tagline is, oh, they're upset because she's saying that she's going to take your man with cooking. If that triggers you, get in the kitchen. If that triggers you, go to the store and get some seasoning. Delete the Uber Eats account. Get a cute apron. Do something to fix what your insecurities are about that, because like our brother stated, like, cooking for your man is a sign of affection. I get jealous if I'm dating somebody and they eat at a restaurant that I didn't make the food. Like, but that's just me and how I get down, you know what I mean? But like, she just getting picked at. It's not like women aren't listening to Meg Thee Stallion and Sexy Red and all these women that are constantly putting their sexual parts in your man's face on a daily basis. You cool with that? You fine with that? But you mad at the girl that's in her kitchen that you logged on to watch her content. Stop watching the content. If your man is watching the content, be concerned about that. But like, don't pick at her. That's just bullying. Like, internet is just bullying. It's just finding the easiest person to bully, and they honestly aren't coming for. Then you might say like, oh, why ain't they coming for the celebrities? Because they don't feel like they're average. People glorify celebrities and don't go after them for certain things sometimes because they don't feel like they're within their reach. This is a regular female in her regular kitchen. How dare you say you gonna take my dude? So yeah, that's about it.
Everybody, I unmuted y'all mic. Y'all can jump in. It's a conversation now. It's not a one-on-one.
Hey, bro, ain't nothing to say, bro. She hit the nail on the coffin.
I have a question though.
What's up?
So for the women that actually do cook for their men and they do serve their men, and this is something that their men are watching, what is that? What is that for them?
They need it.
Hey, brother, did you forget where we're at? I need you to chill out, man. I come on, brother.
That is tough.
I feel like they need to have the conversation with their man because it's not just cooking, it's of sexual content. So you need to have a conversation with your dude as to why, you know, if she was just cooking in the video, that's one thing, that's entertainment. Just like I would watch a dude cook some stuff, you know, but like if she's moving her parts and then, you know what I mean, doing provocative things because her demographic is men, and not saying she's targeting your man or, you know what I mean, like a married man, is just men in general. So that should be a one-on-one.
I'm gonna be 100% honest, Alex. I want to kind of piggyback off what you said. If I had in this scenario, what if I had the woman that was like serving me and cooking for me and doing all these things, I wouldn't be watching Cooking with Kiya. And I'm gonna be 100% honest. most people who have like solid relationships and do all the things that they need done in whatever area that may be, they are not one of the men in these Instagram comments saying, I just kicked my girl off the bed, you dropped a new video, I need, you know, I'm finna watch it. Like that's not the people who are saying these things in these comments. These are the people who, you know, don't have that or are single and wish they had that, you know, people who wish they were in their suit, you know. There's a lot of people who like often project in the comments, and she has made it like obvious through Instagram story posts or just general sayings like she has no interest in taking anybody's man, or she would never mess with anybody from Instagram comments, period. And these are just people who wish that they had the ability to do such a thing, but she has to play into that because these are the people that are following her and like giving her money off of these TikToks and all of these things. Unfortunately, because people are so down bad, especially in like the dating pool that we have now and in this day and age, everybody is so easy to manipulate. I mean, I'm not going to speak on specifics, but we have witnessed that firsthand in the conversations we've had off stream and just like seeing how a lot of people in this group interact with other people. You know, I ain't going to say, you know, the super soldier that we got in our group, but, you know, he could get anything out of anybody, and it don't take much for him to do it. And it's just that easy. You say the right thing and you look the right way, you can get anything. And unfortunately, that's exactly what's happening with Kiya. She looks good. She throw the little, you know, movements in there, and she's actually making food. These are not general meals that you like, you know, you just go to the store and throw up. It's like actual stuff you could possibly get at a restaurant. So all of those things tick, and a lot of these people are primitive. I mean, let's just be honest. You know, the ape brain, the gene is activating when they see cooking with Kiya, and that's why she can keep. She just hit 1 million followers on the gram. That's why she can keep all of this stuff up, and it will happen until she fades out of existence.
Okay.
Is that? I got a lot of people up here. Ain't nobody else got nothing to say? Y'all done with this subject?
Yeah, I definitely agree with West on that. Just because of the simple fact that, you know, if I had to say it in my way, you know, figure, check. Know how to cook, check. Pretty face, check. Got the moves, check. Yeah, that sounds about right. Everything that a guy like myself or millions of other guys who sit up here and would absolutely dream of having a girl like her, you know, being in their house, cooking ingredient after ingredient, recipes after recipe, just almost anything, just coming up with her own way of delivering something that is not at a store. Literally. Like, you can get the, you know, recipes and stuff like that, well, the ingredients to make whatever, but it's not already set up, and you could just, you know, throw it in a pot and that's it. She's really working hard to, you know, please and cook, like things that, you know, that is necessary. You get what I'm saying? Like that is very, very important. And I just think that we just don't, that's not normal. We don't really see it on a day-to-day basis. And for her to make that change, now everybody is just all jealous. Well, not everybody, just, you know, certain women who are and can't stand her. And it's like, well, fight back. Come on, man. Like y'all know what y'all need to do. Like, come on, man. Do I really have to say it?
Hey, can I chime in right quick? So look, right. My thing is it's funny, right? Because even before Kiya, there was like 3 other girls I used to see do the same thing. Like, are we forgetting the woman with the BBL that used to give her man food and all them big plates? Are we forgetting that one? I don't know. I forgot her name, but I know that she had a BBL and she was, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, where was all the outrage for that one? I don't know if they married, or I don't know. I think it's maybe because Kiya don't, you know, present nobody else with her, or she's not handing the plate to another man, and she's just doing it by herself. So now women is like, oh, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? What you see in her, you don't see in me. I don't know. But I'm just saying, that's my take. Cause I'm like, why is everybody not seeing everyone else? But now you see Kiya, young girl, you know what I'm saying? Presentable figure, all that. And, you know, of course, yeah, she like, someone said, yeah, the light-skinned lady cooking food and she twerk after. Exactly. She was bouncing. She was clapping her booty. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so I'm just saying, where was all the outrage for that one? Like I said, maybe it's a difference between the woman the light skin with the BBL having a man and her handing the plate off to somebody else. Between Kiya, she's just cooking the food and then she's twerking right at, or moving the body. I say twerking, moving the body, whatever. But maybe it's that. I don't know. But honestly, I feel like, the outrage. I don't know. It felt kind of not random, but it just felt kind of weird to like just started seeing out of nowhere. I don't know. It didn't feel real. Almost is what I'm trying to say. It kind of didn't really feel real. But I know that anger. I know that kind of resentment or feeling towards women or other people, whatever, could be real. So on it though, but yeah,
Okay, Rena.
So I had a quick question.
Hold on. Talk.
Oh,
Rena tried to speak like 4 times, and she been trying to speak.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
My bad.
After that, yeah. I just want to hear Rena point because she did try to talk, and I did note that. So Rena, if you're there.
Oh, it's all good. I know, but I would just say, just let the girl live her life. I don't know how old she is. Backlash, not because they're not unattractive, it's because they're not as sexual as her. But I think she's young and she is living. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Now Tyler, go ahead, gang. I'm sorry.
I'm good. I can talk?
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure she got her point. You good now. Go ahead, man. It's open discussion.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Well, I did have a question. Anybody can answer this. So you have some females that would say, why should I cook for my boyfriend when I should be cooking for my husband? So I'm just trying to figure out what's the difference between a woman saying, I'd rather cook for my husband than cook for my boyfriend. Because a lot of women, like I was dating somebody and they told me, well, you're not my husband, so why should I cook for you? You're a grown man and you should be cooking for yourself. But if I was married to her, I would definitely cook for my husband. But I just want to know, what is the difference between a woman saying, I'd rather cook for my husband than somebody saying, well, you're not my husband and you're just my boyfriend. Thanks.
Question.
So I'll answer this and I'll let y'all have at it. Women that say the statement, I'm not gonna cook for you until I'm your husband, are the prime example of you're the reason why you don't have a husband. Because my thing is, and this is why I stress, this is why I'm gonna make sure that if I do have daughters, they understand true Christianity and true understand what it's like to be a Christian, because I think people forget and they don't understand, but women, when you guys do things that is submissive to your husbands or husbands to be, you guys tend to forget that God actually gives you guys blessings for doing that. And this world has convinced a lot of women these days that being wifely duties and having wifely characteristics and doing things that a wife should do, the world, feminism, all that has taught y'all that these things are, you gotta make somebody earn this, or you not supposed to have it out, or the fact that you're doing that, you're a slave to it now. And the thing is, that's the devil. The devil has convinced y'all that something good, like demonstrating wifely qualities, has become something that you gotta lock behind a battle pass and a dude gotta earn it and all that. But the thing is, they don't realize is the reason why the girls who do it without even having to have the ring are the ones that are ending up getting married, which y'all now on the internet, y'all call them pick-me's. Y'all be like, oh, that girl, she did that wifely duty, she's a pick-me now. Oh, she cooked for her boyfriend, she ain't got no ring, she's a pick-me now. And so y'all demonized women for doing wifely duties so much, y'all don't realize the reason why these girls are having things go so right for themselves is because God looks at that submission and he rewards it. He blesses it. That's why, if you notice, look at married couples these days, right? Look at married couples. Married couples these days, do you notice couples where you hear the wife go, oh, my husband this, I do this for my husband, I have no problem, I follow my husband's leads, blah, blah, blah. Notice what the husbands are always doing. They always getting it, they work it hard, whatever my wife wants, she can have, blah blah blah. I gotta take care of this. I'm gotta take care of this. My girl don't pay for nothing. She don't worry about nothing. I do this. But what is that wife saying in the background of all that? My husband don't gotta clean. My husband don't gotta do this. My husband don't gotta worry about kids. I take care of my husband's peace. Blah 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 blah. But notice those couples are always the couples that you see have everything they need. They always got everything. You never see them on social media. You never see them struggling. You never hear about all this stuff. It's because they're operating in the way that God ordained the marriage to be. But notice the couples that you see always having these fallouts. The girl, he can pay somebody to do that. Oh, he can do this. And the man, well, she got to do it. If I ain't getting this, man, I want as many girls as I can have. I want all this. Y'all abandon the concept of what God ordained the relationship to be so badly. Y'all don't realize that you guys disqualify yourselves from the blessings God said he'll give you for doing it. And now you guys are just cursing yourselves. But that's just my take. Y'all do what y'all want with that.
I'm a follow question.
Go ahead.
And I get what you're saying, you know, but then you have some women would say, well, okay, until he puts a ring on my finger, even though God wants me to do that, but he's gonna have to earn this and earn that. So my question is God saying to a man, you have to earn a woman's trust and vice versa? Because I think sometimes, you know, I think a lot of men and women, they're trying to like earn their trust, and I'm not too sure if that's what God wants us to do.
What does the Bible say?
Thank you.
The Bible says that a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. A man that findeth a wife. You find a wife. It didn't say a man that super glues and puts cement and builds a tower and seals off the roof of a wife. It says a man that finds a wife. There are wifely qualities that you as a man who is getting ready to be a husband, you should be able to clearly identify. The problem is y'all look at these strippers or y'all look at these girls that you see everything that she does. Nothing says wife, but because she got a BBL or her chest is big or her face card is a 10 out of 10, y'all go, I can turn her into a wife. And y'all ignore every other thing that's required of a wife because her face card and body card pass. Y'all operate in lust and y'all get what y'all get. You feel me? But go ahead, Squad.
I just wanted to say that when it comes to marriage, relationships, but marriage in general, because it is legally binding, we have to remember that harmony comes from peace. And in order to have harmony, we have to be peaceable. But how do we do that? We have to respect one another. And I remember, KiteZz, you had mentioned something in a previous video about, no, it was actually Alex, about submitting and how submitting is not so much you're beneath me or, you know, whatever that was. And it's not because if you're submitting, if the husband and the wife are both submitting, you both are submitting to each other. And by doing that, you're both submitting to God. Now, with that being said, people are putting too much emphasis on this whole cooking thing. I don't even think people are mad at her cooking. I don't think that they're mad at the whole, even the twerking thing that she was doing. I think it was just the "I'll take your man." That just grinds women's gears for some reason, and there's a possibility she'll never ever see your man, but for some reason that just upsets folks. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it's my age. I don't know, but I don't care. It's I saw the videos and whatnot. Again, I didn't know anything about this girl until she started trending. It's not a big deal to me. And this is coming from someone who does not cook. I don't cook. I can't cook. I never learned. My father was the chef in my family growing up. My mom was disabled, and my father was very particular. He'd tell you quit get out of my kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you in my kitchen. So I just never learned. And when I do try, I promise you the fire department is on alert. I promise you. Like, I literally have to take the batteries out of my smoke detector, or else it'll just be hooting and hollering for no reason. But with that being said, no, I came into my marriage not knowing how to cook, but that's not everything. And that's not saying that I'm not submitting to my husband.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he came into this marriage not knowing how to build a house.
Right.
And you know, but he has other qualities that is very good for myself and his children. So I mean, and you know, it's we have to look deeper than just the act, whatever that act may be: cooking, cleaning, building stuff, fixing cars, whatever. We have to look at the whole picture. The whole picture. So yeah, I think it's far beyond cooking, because men want more than cook. They might say they want a home cooked meal, and that's great, that's gravy. I do too. I just can't cook it. But they want more than that, because you can have a home cooked meal and she could be whopping you upside the head every day. So that's my take on it, you know.
Yeah. I don't know who wanted to talk. Winston, go ahead, gang.
I would
Thanks.
like to give some.
So I
go
wanted.
ahead.
Winston already talking.
Oh, okay. My bad.
But
All I wanted to say was to answer the question, there's no difference between serving somebody while dating or married. I ain't gonna lie, I think it's a very American thing, and I think it's a very Black American thing, because there's also another girl on TikTok, and she was going viral for food, but she was feeding her brother different plates every morning for work, and she was African. And so it used to be like, yo, this is just love. This is just something I would do for my cousins, for my brothers, and it's just do for the family. But I think people are using it as like some type of test of like, hey, if you earn this, then you're worthy. Versus the way that you actually test a person is character. You use wisdom, discernment, their personality, and stuff like that. So I think that I just think it's dumb. I think it's very arbitrary. They think that, oh, if I do this for you, then you're over me. Versus like, hey, it's almost like the Travis Hunter thing. People are tripping out about the fiance because of the intangibles. Cooking, it shows that you're humble. It shows that you're selfless. It shows that you help. And KiteZz, that's actually funny that you're talking about the example from the Bible. One of the best examples is how Isaac got his wife. They sent out a servant and they said, hey, whichever woman from our waters all our camels, she will be the wife for my son. So the way that they found the wife, her being selfless and just serving naturally for the community. And so people think that relationships prepare you for relationships, but it's not the romantic ones. It's you be able to forgive your parents. It's you be able to serve your friends, you working in your church. And when you don't do that regular stuff, it doesn't transfer over to a marriage. So yeah, I think it's just arbitrary. I don't think it's real. Like, if you want to cook for someone you're dating or even your friends, because one of my friends had me like pay for her dinner and I wasn't even attracted to her, but that's her culture. She was like, friends pay for friends for dinners. And I was like, man, I'm American, I don't do that. But I just think it's more cultural than anything else, and that's it.
Okay. Who else was going to speak?
Okay.
Monet?
I would like to speak. So, oh, wow. Anyways, but back, what I was trying to say was like, I think it's just more so like, I don't remember who brought it up. Somebody had brought up the fact about like husbands and wives and all that jazz. Now, here's my thing. I feel as though the beauty and commitment that is marriage has simply been forgotten. I wouldn't say forgotten, pushed to the side by a lot of people. And I say that because we look at things like, oh, Cooking with Kiya, Cooking with Dante, Nara Smith, a woman who is Mormon and cooks for her husband and her kids. And we look at people like that and we bash them for doing domestic duties and all that jazz. Now here's my thing. I feel like it wouldn't be that much of a problem if people had successful marriages and successful relationships.
Talk about it.
Because like it's just like the divorce rates are high. People being single are high. There's even statistics for people not knowing how to cook and that being high. Like, it's just like, I feel like we wouldn't have a problem with it if people's relationships were successful. But the thing is, as you said before, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. But you have to be a wife first before a man can even look for you. Because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. You know, because I see a lot of women nowadays on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everything, you name it, even Instagram threads, talking about Proverbs 31 this, Proverbs 31 that. Here's the thing. You have to actually do the Proverbs 31 women stuff.
Talk about it.
You got to wake up before dawn. You got to talk to God. You got to learn how to cook. You got to be able to take care of your family. You have to be able to be entrusted with finances and all that jazz. And it's just like, I'm not saying people like Cooking with Kiya or Nara Smith or you know, that Proverbs 31 woman. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. So don't disconnect it or try to connect it that way. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is these people are doing domestic things that could attract a man and make them a potential wife, and people have a problem with that because they're bitter single people whose relationships failed because they didn't want to put in the effort. And that's why we're having this problem. That's why we're having this whole like, oh, well, women are mad because she's doing this. Men don't care because they're just enjoying the show and all that. We have this disconnect because people are upset because they didn't do the necessary working on themselves and evaluations to even be in a relationship. And now we got someone saying that, oh, I can take your man and take the relationship that you could possibly have when you're not even, you know, ready to be in a relationship. If anybody else, you know, got something they want to say, you know,
real quick.
I said what I had to say.
Real quick. You just preach. You just ate, sis. You just ate.
Yeah.
But like, it's funny how women go and rush to get a BBL for attention, but won't cook for attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna go lay down your life on the table to possibly be admired physically, but you won't get in the kitchen to possibly be able to feed yourself, your man, and your kids in the future. I don't understand how it correlates, but let me be quiet because I ain't trying to body shame nobody. I'm just saying the math is not mathing.
And the same
math is not mathing.
The same amount of recovery time it takes for a BBL is that same amount of time I was able to work on the body that I wanted and get the body that I dreamed of having. So
okay, by getting in the kitchen, master the kitchen.
Cooking that food, going to
everybody
that gym.
getting the BBL. Y'all could just go get Ozempic.
Oh, jeez.
No, forget Ozempic. I'm gonna get that Bandman Kevo. I'm gonna get that Bandman Kevo abs. That's what I'm gonna get.
Oh, y'all
the body sculpting.
losing weight will
Body
cause you to need a BBL.
I think it's just because everybody wants to just follow someone. Like, oh, this person got a BBL. You know what? I'm just going ahead and follow that. Oh, this person got their boobs done. Oh, you know, I'm just going ahead and follow that too. There's so much following and no individual thinking. That is the problem with society. No individual thinking. But then get mad when I do individual thinking. Like, what are we on right now? Like, is that an issue? Do you want me to be like that? And that's what happens. That's what's going on right now as we even talking about this. That's what's going on. But once the stream cuts off, a bunch of followers gonna follow the same exact person. Oh, so you need your stuff done? You know what? I got you. And then like because Monet about getting BBLs and stuff like that, you were absolutely taking a risk on doing that. People have literally died from it. Why on earth would you even want that?
Because social media.
It's crazy.
They see social media. And I don't know. It's because I've written reports about social media and essays and articles and such, because that was something I studied in school. But for people to even be wildly influenced by social media is just funny to me, because like, what you mean you see a woman getting a whole bunch of attention because she has, a sizable backside, and you think that I'm finna go to Brazil and get me the same thing and I'm finna get all the attention. That's really not how it works. Like, to be 100% honest with you, you can have nobody at all and still like have a crazy face card and have motion. You can have none of them things and somebody will still find you attractive. I just don't understand what people think comes, like, what do you think comes with, this level of social media attraction? Because at the end of the day, everybody's social media persona, fame, clout, it's all gonna fade away at the end of the day. And the only people they're gonna have is the people that was with them when they started it all. That's what Kite was saying in the beginning. Our group, we was together when he had 100 subscribers. 1,000 subscribers, 1,500 subscribers, when he wasn't doing nothing with the YouTube. We was all still kicking it, in servers that shall not be named. You feel me? Like, we was around the block. But and whenever he make it like big and like truly blow up, it's still gonna be the same people in these purple names and such. Like, you gotta have a good community around you, a good foundation, and you can essentially make it through everything. And that's the problem with a lot, not even just women, but people in general who have low self-esteem. Y'all have nobody in y'all corners. Y'all have no like real family members telling you what's up, no friends, none of that. So it allows you to be susceptible to all of the things that go on outside of your surroundings. And you just, you adapt and mold into that, even if it's not positive, essentially.
That's real. I want to say something, like, because I like how you said that, because it's funny because it's something that I find myself like asking myself, but then answering my own question in a way, because I look at it to where it's like people, a lot of people my age or probably younger, you know what I'm saying, like they, on social media, I feel like the mentality of it is like they go about it to where, attention is something that's, I feel like it's almost like it's basically the new drug or the drug that's been, social media been around for like more than 10 years or, right? Am I right or wrong? More than 10 years, I would say.
Yeah, since the early 2000s.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, but I feel like currently today though, it's like at a point where people now look at it to where it's like, get a new BBL and automatically start a OnlyFans or start or just post videos or whatever, and you'll get that attention. You'll start, like, I'm basically saying that it's all about gain, really. We all know that it's all about gain, of course, but I feel like it's more so, it's almost like a disease, really. I look at it like it's almost a disease, because it's like, it's really almost like the new crack.
I got a answer for that. I got a breakdown for it, but before I give it, L Dragon, I know you tried to chime in a couple times, but everybody, they got a little bit more power in their voices. So go ahead, Dragon. Go ahead, talk your talk.
Yeah. Oh no, I just had a question. You guys probably answer it, but I didn't hear it because my internet was doing whatever it was doing. My question was, is it right or wrong for a woman to say that I'm not going to do XYZ because I feel like you have to earn that in order for me to do that?
I feel like it is wrong because that's a form of manipulation. So, Alex actually did she gave a speech about manipulation a while ago, and I'm gonna let her answer this, but it was along the lines of she so we found out, I had a conversation, this came about, I had a conversation with my we were talking in our Bible studies that we do on Wednesday, and I had a conversation with my mom about when there's women these days that they'll have intimacy and they'll do stuff like train. A woman on social media said she trains her husband, right? And she says, if my husband doesn't do the things I want him to do, I will withhold sex from him and I won't give him sex. And I will make sure he never has sex until he makes me proud enough to give him sex. And we learned that in the Bible actually speaks on that. The Bible actually speaks on it. And I'll find the verse as Alex is breaking it down, because it turns out it's manipulation, and manipulation we found out is witchcraft. So Alex, while I look for that verse, can you do your thing?
You just said it.
Well, yeah, break it down more, because I just gave a summary while I look for this verse.
Sorry, I just drew a blank. Yeah, basically manipulation is a form of witchcraft, because you're basically using your way, you're using basically a tactic of controlling somebody else's actions. And although like God gives us free will to do certain things, it's not your right, nor is it welcomed or encouraged for you to do things like that. Like telling your husband that if you don't do the things that I want you to do, I'm gonna withhold intimacy and sex from you. That is a form of manipulation and witchcraft. So yeah, I really can't go too far into it because I drew a blank.
I have a question.
What I said last time, I really don't remember.
I have a quick question to pivot off of that, right? If you're in a relationship, marriage, or building towards marriage or courtingship, right? And you're doing things as a woman or as a man, right? To propel and to profess your love or show commitment and do your womanly or manly duties, and you're not feeling appreciated in that. I understand withholding is a form of manipulation, but at what point do you have self-preservation in those moments? Because it does take energy to invest into someone and into your relationship, to clean, of course, not to clean, but to cook, to do some of these things that show appreciation and are a duty as well. So at what point do you set a boundary for that? Because I, in the past, have overexerted and overextended myself past the point of which something should have ended, because I felt like that's what a woman was supposed to be doing, not understanding that I was being drained.
My question, were you married, or was this just a relationship?
It was just a relationship, but in a sense where it was like, I'm not gonna not do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so there's a difference.
You get to a certain point, yeah.
Can I
No, that's what my question is.
Just a little bit as far as coming from a married wife standpoint. Now, if I was going to talk to you like you were a daughter or a sister, I would definitely say being in a relationship, depending on how long you've been together, and if you're dating for marriage or whatever, I assume that it's not, you weren't together for like years and years and years. I would definitely say if someone is showing that they aren't grateful or appreciative of you at this point, then, I mean, you're just getting a preview of what could happen in the marriage. But if you're already married and you already took those vows, the Bible does say, and KiteZz will probably, he's probably looking up the scripture.
I got it right now, actually.
The Bible actually, it tells us to refrain from that. Now, because a topic came up with a group that I was in as well, like, well, if you don't feel appreciated, or if he did something to upset you, you mean to tell me that I still have to lay with him or whatever? That's not what the Bible is saying, because of course, if you're both upset with one another, that's not going to happen 9 times out of 10. You're not gonna, nobody wants to be in nobody's face when you're upset with one another. However, to use sex as a weapon, it is something that is unlawful in the Bible, scripturally unlawful. You should not do that. And there's also another scripture
aside from that one that says, do not let the sun set with your anger.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that, especially as married couples, whatever you got going on, it needs to be rectified before you go to sleep at night.
Exactly.
And it does not matter if it's 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Do not fall asleep, because when you enter into the God, I don't want to say dream realm because it just sounds so but I can't think of anything else. Once you close your eyes and go to sleep, your mind is vulnerable, and in essence, it's no longer yours. And so you let the wicked one enter in. And if you're already upset and you start having feelings, then here comes vengeance and everything else. You're just opening the door for a whole bunch of other stuff that we're not going to talk about. But yeah, it's a difference between not feeling, happy with each other and actually using sex as a weapon. It's a big difference.
Right. So, to give you guys, this towards Dragon, towards your question where you asked about withholding things, right? To use the example of how this is a form of manipulation, I can also break down how it is addressed in the Bible concerning relations with marriage, right? And this also points out some things on why sex before marriage is also bad, and why the world convincing you guys that sex is not as powerful as you guys think it is. To the people that say, oh, it's okay to sleep around, just use protection, it doesn't have anything. You guys don't understand that the Bible describes sex as knowing somebody, right? So every time you have sex with a person, you are knowing someone, meaning that you are spiritually connecting with someone. And so the world, you got to remember, if God says sex is such a thing that you shouldn't be doing, but if you need to do it, go get married and I'll allow you to do it married, then you got to think about it. What is the devil going to do? Because the devil's whole objective is to make things that are holy unholy. So if God says, don't do this, then what would the devil naturally say? Go do this. If the Bible says, save yourself, be a virgin, it's better for you to die a virgin, but if you can't hold it back, get married, what is the devil gonna say? The virginity doesn't matter, and go ahead and have sex as long as you love somebody, right? And that's the thing is, people think that they can stay on a fine line fence, right? And you can't. The Bible says you'll be either hot or cold. If you're lukewarm, I will spit you out my mouth. Right? So here's the scripture. It is 1 Corinthians 7. This is for everybody, so you can look it up. Don't take my word for it. Look up the word yourself. 1 Corinthians 7. It says, now for the matters you wrote about, is it good for man not to have sexual relations with a woman? But since sexual immorality is occurring, each man should have sexual relations with his own wife, and each woman with her own husbands. The husband should fulfill his marital duties to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but yields it to her husband. In the same way, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but yields it to his wife. Do not deprive each other, except perhaps by mutual consent, meaning that you guys agree that, hey, we don't want to have sex this week. Right? Not you going, I don't want to sleep with you, I'm mad at you, you're gonna have to just take that. Mutual, right? Mutual consent, and for a time, so that ye may devote yourselves to prayer. A lot of y'all don't pray in y'all relationships. Then come together again, so that Satan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. So this is why when you have these women who say, oh, I'm gonna hold this back. If my husband don't do what I want, he not gonna blah, blah, blah. And then you hear those same women complaining months later, like, I caught my husband watching pornography. Well, by you trying to put that restriction on your husband, you created an area where Satan was able to tempt him more often. And his desires are gonna get overwhelmed because now you're supposed to be the source where he can get these things out of. you left him in the dark, and now Satan has an opportunity, right? That Satan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. I say this as a concession, not as a command. I wish that all of you were as I am, but each of you has your own gift from God. One has this gift, another has that. Now to the unmarried and the widows, I say, it is good for them to stay unmarried as I do, but if they cannot control themselves, they should marry. For it is better to marry than to burn with passion. Okay? It's better to marry than to burn with passion. Burning with passion means that you're going around, you're masturbating, and you're committing adultery. You're burning with passion. You're fulfilling your desires. That's why these people who tell you it's okay to watch porn all day, it's okay to have multiple partners, it's okay this, marriage is just a concept, it's just a piece of paper. These people are actively going to lead you people to hell because they're lying to you. They're lying to your faces. Even in the Quran, we don't even believe the same stuff as the people in the Quran, but even in the Quran, they saying, hey, do not do this. You going to hell if you do this. But for some reason, everybody still actively chooses to do it. But I hope that answered your question, Dragon.
No, G.
Hey, guys, can I chime in on Remiverse question? Because she was asking what boundaries look like in dating and courting and how to not get drained. And I think some of that is actually preemptive as well, and how you pick people, right? So marriage, in the Bible, it talks about there's different types of love, right? And we're only speaking English, so love only means like one word. But the type of love that's in marriage is a God love, which is selfless. But another one is eros, which is like erotic love. It's more that romantic stuff that you see on television. Phileo, which is like Philadelphia, brotherly love. And so I think it's Colossians 3, it says we should do everything in Christ, like in love, right? And so I think that the reason that certain people feel drained when like giving and serving is, number one, you're not picking well. I think you are picking takers, right? But if you're courting like a Christian or you're dating like a Christian, both of you should be trying to outserve the other, right? Because Jesus says the greatest of all is the servant of all. So the person you with should be more humble than you are, and you're going to try to be more humble than them. And so I think boundaries are only needed when you're out of balance. Versus like, hey, if I'm doing everything in love, if I give like money to a homeless person, I don't feel like I'm being used, right? Because I have no expectations. But if I do something nice for a friend and we're in relationship with one another, I want to be like, man, they're taking advantage of me. Why? Nothing changed but my attitude towards the person. And so if I'm a servant, everything should be the same. Like, hey, if I am serving a stranger, if I'm serving my partner, I'm humble, and whatever their reaction is, it doesn't move me. And so I think a lot of times we feel drained. Number one, you're giving to takers, so that's very draining. But also two, if you're not doing things in love, because love, bro, I've seen, like, I don't know if y'all remember at Bockham, dude, the police officer killed his brother, the white woman, as he hugged her on the news. That guy, he was so Christian, it convicted me so much, because love's like, I forgive this woman for killing my brother. And it was like really speaking the gospel. He didn't feel taken advantage of. And so that's the same thing as us. If we are in Christ, we're able to have grace, which means empowerment to act like Jesus. But if we're trying to do things in the flesh, we're going to do the same things, but feel tired and feel taken advantage of because we're not doing it in the strength of God. So that's all I had.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what's up?
I appreciate that.
All right. Is everybody done with they comments? Everybody got all they talking out? Is there any?
We moved on from what I was about to talk about, so I ain't even gonna bring it up no more. We done moved all the way on.
Oh, what was it?
It was still kind of in relation to the cooking with Kaya thing, but people had started bringing up other stuff, so we have moved on. I will not be bringing it up any further. The only thing I will say about what we just discussed is that kind of piggybacking off what you said, I don't know why people just view sex as something that is like holds no real weight, essentially. Like people just think like sex with multiple partners or just like sex in general is not that big of a thing. You're not really sharing anything with them but the physical. And I don't know, I feel like that's just a very kind of the word I want to use I can't use, obviously, but I really think that is a very like uninformed way of thinking or just going about life. And it doesn't hit you until you kind of older and I don't want to say useless, but by the time you realize that like certain things mattered more than what you believed, you will kind of be essentially out of the like dating pool and just like out of like general what's the word I want to use, like out of the ability to kind of like have a real relationship with people, because the way you lived your life, you kind of neglected things that most other people like held dear to them or viewed as like something sacred. So by the time you realize the life you were living was not really the life you should have been living, it'll be too late for you. And I definitely think that like sex and it not being that big of a deal in air quotes is one of those like ways of thinking that it's just like it's very redundant.
Right, and it's actually I'm actually happy that you brung up that question, Bus, because the answer to it is on why do people like just do like have sex and not take the seriousness of it. Tommy, he said a very, very blunt answer to it, and he said it's because it feels great, right? And on the surface, that's a very blunt answer. Why do people have sex and act like it doesn't have importance? Because it feels great. That is the answer. But the beautiful thing about that answer is it's a broad stamp on an issue that is a lot deeper and heavier than the average person who's not deeply involved with their faith. They don't realize. It's like, you ever see a cartoon where the villain, like they're having a race, like those old school speed racer shows. You ever see those? They get to a point in the cartoon where the villain's so far ahead and it goes like, there's a sign and it says, hey, turn right. Like the right way is right. Do not go left, right? What does the villain do? They normally flip it or they cover it or they move the sign, right? And so the example of sex without marriage and just having sex free willy-nilly is the example of you pulling up in that race and you see that sign that says, it says sex is this way, but the sign under it saying, do not do this unless married. Somebody ripped that sign out and put a new sign that says it will feel good. And you don't get the warning, right? You don't get the fine print underneath it. And so the reason why it's Tom be saying because it feels good is because it goes in line to, as a believer, you got to understand there's two things in you. There's your flesh, which is your body, which your body desires. And then there's your spirit, right? Your spirit is the thing that's going to be judged by God. Your flesh will not receive judgment. Your flesh is going to burn. It's going to pass away. It's dirt. Your spirit, though, is going to have to take responsibility of what your flesh has done. You get me? And so Tomby's stating it feels good. Guess what that is? Your flesh wants sex because it feels good. We are naturally chasing after pleasures. That's why people say, I ask people a lot of time, like, why do you smoke weed when you know you don't need it? I just like how it makes me feel. Okay. Why do you hit stuff when you're angry? I like the relief it gives me when I feel that thud of me hitting something. Okay. Why do you steal? Because it feels good to have what I don't have. Okay. These are things that your flesh desires, what your human body wants. Your human body wants to feel good. Your human body wants to feel special. Your human body wants what it wants. That's why they say, oh, your primal instincts when you take something that's not yours, right? Your spirit, on the other hand, does not operate by the same rules. That's why you feel when you're about to steal, you have that moment in your mind like, should I do this or should I not? A lot of people say that's the voice in your head. That's conviction. That's the Holy Spirit talking to your spirit saying, you know better. Don't do that. And so, yes, Saint, it's the pursuit of pleasure. The Bible says, I wrestle my flesh daily, meaning that even as a believer, a truly devout believer, a person who is truly God-fearing, you're going to have to battle with yourself till the end of your life. Because no matter how hard you seek after God, temptations and the things that the body wants is always going to be present, trying to stop you. That's why it's so hard to break habits. Like, for instance, it's one of the things that was the hardest thing. I used to love to curse. When I used to curse, I used to feel like I fit in. It felt natural. It made me feel like I was tough. It made me feel like all that. And the hardest battle in my life was stopping cursing. It was to stop cursing. Because even though it felt good to sound like a thug around everybody else, and like, hey, shut up, B, blah, blah, blah. It felt good. But then I started noticing all the problems that came with what I was saying. I was almost in more fights than I needed to be. I was offending people that I didn't need to offend. I was messing up job opportunities that I shouldn't have messed up. And I had to realize I got to clean my mouth up. Because then I made a point where I almost called God my end. You feel me? Even though the N word is not a curse word, but that's how profane my language was getting, to the point I almost called God my N word. You feel me? And my sister had to check me like, you about to call God the N word? You feel me? And that's because my flesh was so comfortable doing it. It was so much easier and pleasurable to do it. But now I don't need to. Yeah, I slip up when I'm angry or when I'm hot, but I wrestle my flesh daily. So to the people that like are just casually having sex, and I'm glad you brought it up, it's because they're wrestling with their flesh, but the difference is they're not telling that flesh no. Their spirit man is going silent, and that flesh is doing all the talking. But the sad part is the flesh knows it's not going to last. From the day you're born, you know you're going to die, right? But your spirit doesn't die. Your flesh is told it's going to die. Your flesh is going to pass away. So that's why your flesh is going to want you to do every single thing that you can have fun with, that feels good in the moment. It wants you to do it all because it knows it's not going to get to go where your soul goes after. If you make it to heaven, guess what? Your flesh is not going with you. If you go to hell, guess what? Your flesh ain't going with you either. It's like a kid in class who knows no matter whether he studies or not, he's gonna pass the class with a C. Whether he takes the test or he don't take the test, I'm gonna pass with a C. What does that student do? He don't try at all. He won't even show up to the test. I'm gonna pass anyway, right? I'm gonna die anyway, right? Let me go smoke this weed. I'm gonna die anyway. Let me go smash this chick. I'm gonna die anyway. Let me go kill my op across the street. I'm gonna die anyway. But the thing is, your spirit is inside that shell going, dang, bro. And guess what? There's an angel in heaven taking record of everything you do, going, oh, you killed your op? Okay. You ain't forgive your mama? Okay. Them 3 baby mamas you got that you keep saying F on the Instagram? Okay. That old man you cussed out in the store? Okay. All right. Okay. And your flesh is down there going, hey, it's not my problem. I ain't got to worry about it. So that's just how it really be. You feel me? I went on the preaching tangent. My fault, yo. All right. Is there anything else?
I think that's the perfect place to end it, honestly.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. All right. Well, I would like to thank everybody for coming out to that Flock Talk, where you can talk your talk and be how you want to be. I hope everybody got something out of it, whether it be small or great. I hope this encourages everybody to join the next Flock Talk. That way, let's keep trying to keep it going. I love the conversations. I love how respectful everybody was today. Please, when the video gets posted tomorrow, I know you guys are already here. Please go leave a like and a comment on the video that gets posted tomorrow. It helps us out. I pray everybody's safe. I pray everybody has a good night. And you know what? If you guys want to keep the conversation going amongst each other, there are channels beneath called Chili Mode and all that, where You know, the Cooking It with Kiya stuff, there's stuff y'all wanted to say, but we can't say it on here. Go ahead and talk your talk down there. Socialize, build your community up, do all that. All the YouTube people, thank you so much. Thank you. Shout out to Zeus Titan. Shout out to Nitro. Shout out to Mecca. Shout out to everybody that gave donations. Shout out to Rena. Shout out to Paulisha. Thank you guys, everybody. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat. I pray you guys have a great night. All right, peace.